Man, what the hell is going on? Coaches dropping left and right. I don't know what's going on, y'all. It's a crazy time of year. It's that crazy time of year because it is Super Wild Card Weekend right here for the NFL. We're going to talk about that today, baby. Also talking about some of the coaches and everything that's been going on. Also get into some spring football because today I got a very special guest up in the house. Y'all already know who it is, man. I got my boy Jerzey the King, my co-host over at the Gridiron, jumping on with me today. It has been a while, so let's get it on, familia. Let's get it on and popping, baby. Yo, Gridiron Nation. Come on. Get in the game, forget the money and fame. Stay ready, making sure that they remember my name. I got a hunger inside when the numbers are tied. I'ma turn it up a level, never will be denied. I got them back on their heels, about to have me a meal. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. Take out the competition, they'll remember the name. The wicked one I always bring it, got my head in the game. Yes, yes, yes. What is up, familia? Happy Tuesday evening to each and every one of you. Thank you once again for jumping in and joining us on another episode of Gridiron Nation Podcast, y'all. This is, what are we in, episode 86? Is that where I'm at now? Episode 86, and the table is set, y'all. The table is set. All the places are set, man, for the playoffs right now here in the NFL. So y'all know what time it is, man. We're going to get into that today, and I already see some of y'all jumping up in the chat. What is up? What is up? Yeah, man, we got a good show for y'all today. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Getting a little bit stir crazy. I was running a little bit late, so I apologize to those of you, that were waiting. I started, a couple minutes late. That's all right. You're still here, so it's all good. We are still here. We ready to get into this, man, because there's been a lot of shit going on right now, y'all. A lot of crazy stuff. Coaches, it's been insane. It's been insane. So we're going to get into that for a little bit with y'all today. But I am your host, Gabriel Garcia, a.k.a. The Wicked One, a.k.a. the OG Double G, as I'm known over at the Gridiron. Yeah, that is me, man. And welcome y'all to another episode of Gridiron Nation Podcast. This is the podcast that is made for the average hardcore football fan by the average hardcore football fan. Y'all already understand that's exactly what I am. What is up, baby? Yeah, without further ado, man, I talked about my, where I'm the OG Double G over at the Gridiron. And speaking of the Gridiron, y'all, speaking of the Gridiron, it's about that time. I got to bring in, coming to the stage. Feel like I'm bringing up Randy Watson. Y'all ever seen Coming to America? Coming to the stage right now. That's right. He is my co-host, fellow cowboy fanatic. Yes, fellow cowboy fanatic in the house. Yeah. Coming all the way from the East Coast. Coming all the way from the East Coast via Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
Spring football extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my boy, Jerzey the King. What is up, brother? It has been a while since we've been on together, man.
Yes, definitely. It's been about a good month.
Yeah, man.
And it's been a couple months since I've been on here, so
yeah, it's been crazy for me, man.
Definitely been a time now.
You're holding it down though over there, man. So, hey, but just so y'all know, and it won't be this weekend, but next weekend I will be back next Saturday with the Gridiron, man. So y'all be ready. Y'all be ready for that, all right? But getting ahead of myself, brother. Man, what's going on, man? Like we got
good. We got a lot of football news, man.
So much going on, man. What you been doing, brother?
There's so many moves happening right now when it comes to players and coaches, and then we're gonna get into it, but it's a lot going on, man. And then with
some Nick
with the Gridiron this week, we have a topic of the week, which I think is kind of interesting. And
yeah. What's up, Corey?
Thanks already, there's a lot of people already, putting their opinion out there. So it's gonna be fun come Saturday.
Yeah. What's up, Miss B? How you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight.
How you doing, B?
Yeah, bro. So
Um,
how was your New Year, man? You had a good New Year?
New Year
Didn't
was
go crazy?
good.
Yeah.
Got to relax, watch the fireworks show out here in Las Vegas.
Oh
They do a
man,
big one.
I heard that one's crazy out there, bro.
Yeah, they actually do fireworks on all the casinos, the strip casinos, and they do a fireworks show from the
Damn.
roof of
And
the
the
damn.
amount of money that is in those casinos, can you imagine the money they spend on fireworks? Bro, and
Yeah,
that's why like, I think it was some years back, man, that it kind of I think one of the like one of the big networks, man, when people were still watching their New Year's Eves on the big networks, right? And I remember they were doing, it might have been ABC. They were out in Vegas, and like it was Vegas killed it that year.
yeah,
And after that, that's when like they were putting the narrative out there, like Vegas has overcome New York now as the city to be for New Year's
I
because
say it
people
all
have
the
put it
time.
on their bucket list now.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I feel personally that watching the New Year celebration in Vegas is a lot more exciting than watching the ball drop in
Oh yeah, yeah,
Madison Square Garden. So,
yeah,
well, in Times Square, I should say.
yeah.
But I just think that just the way the fireworks show was done out here, just the way the New Year's is brought in for the millions of people that are on the strip.
Madness,
It's
madness.
crazy. You know what I mean? It's just outrageous. You have the whole entire strip filled with people, not even cars.
Damn,
We're talking
just people.
from I say Russell and Las Vegas Boulevard all the way to Sahara and Las
So it's
Vegas
like a
Boulevard.
freaking citywide, miles long block party.
Yeah,
One big ass citywide block party where everything just shuts down. But
yep,
I mean, everything shuts down, but that's when everything turns up. You know what I mean? That's
exactly.
crazy. I
And if
gotta
you're
check it
on the
out one of
strip
these years, man.
if
Damn.
you're on the strip, you're gonna have so much fun. But you can also go to Fremont. That's what
Yeah.
makes it so good out here. There's two different places just in Las Vegas itself that you can celebrate and have a nice celebration for New Year's. So if you're ever out in Vegas during New Year's, come check out the strip or check out Fremont Experience. It's off the chain. You'll look at Times Square as Times Square just be to you. I promise you. Because
All
that's how I
right.
feel.
All right, man. Yeah, we were chilling here. We got something here in Cruces. It's we have this plaza downtown, man. It's always been there. There's a lot of history there. And they have this thing now because New Mexico and this area, especially around Las Cruces with Hatch, just a little bit up the ways, they're famous for the green chili. Hatch green chili. That's where it comes from this area. And so now they have this thing called the chili drop, and it's a huge LED lit up chili.
Oh,
And they
that's
do a
fun.
drop, and it was actually kind of cool because this year was like the biggest deal for it. They've been doing it for about 10 years now, I think. But now this year, like I think it was USA Today actually named it their number 3 best New Year's drop event in the country. So everybody, they were kind of proud of that. We didn't go out there. We thought about it, but I was like, man, it's too cold. I'd rather be at home, chilling, having a drink, and we just kind of watch movies, man. So it was nice and chill. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was
that's
cool, man.
always a good thing too. You can
Yeah.
stay out of the BS if there is any.
Yeah, it was good, man, especially, because we were coming off a big win. That Lions game, baby. I'm still clowning Lions fans. I don't give a shit.
I am too, because at
Man,
the end of
they're
the
they're
day,
annoying as hell, dog.
they're
Like they
mad
forgot.
because
They don't know what it's like to actually have a winning team. They don't know
right,
how to
and then
act.
they're mad because their team screwed up
Yeah.
as a collective
Well,
from the
I
coaching
actually
side
there was a dude.
and the player side.
Yeah, one of these things posted it. There was posts everywhere. Of course, everybody's still trying to post little things. But one of the guys that once said something, and I just kind of corrected him on it. It wasn't even like I was talking like, "No, you don't even know what you're talking about." Like, I forgot what it was. But anyways, he was a Lions fan. Okay, and so we were going to. He was kind of. I came at him with, "Look, man, nah, this is. I know that's your squad, but look, this and this and this, right?" So he didn't have nothing to fire back at me with. No legit football talk. It was just like, oh, look, because I was commenting under my Gridiron Nation page. So
Right.
he's like, so obviously he went to the page instead of commenting, like I'm trying to get in a debate here. And he's like, oh yeah, what? I'm sorry, but I believe the players, because we're talking about the people who checked in and what the refs saw. He goes, and I believe the players more than you. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't what it was on. I'm sorry. I see I've been responding to Lions fans all week, 2 weeks, and I'm confused. It was about something with the players voting, how they voted, who the best coordinator is. You saw that thing. And the
Yeah.
Lions defensive coordinator was number one. But then it says as voted on by players who play for these guys on the scale 1 to 10. So it wasn't even like an actual ranking. And I'm trying to tell them this dude like the middle of the pack defense. And this dude's just like, oh, look at. So I'm gonna believe the players more than I will you with your 200, follows or whatever on your little podcast. And I'm like, hey, speaking of my little podcast, why don't you come on, man? We can debate this. Nah,
Don't you just
he
love
was
those
like,
guys?
nah. Yeah, he was like, nah. But bro, them Lions fans, man, just Lions fans. Okay, just come on, man. Act like y'all been there before. That's all I'm saying.
Angel, what's going on?
Act like y'all been there before. All right. So,
Exactly.
anyways, bro. Now let's get to our first segment, man. Because we got a lot to touch on today. Let's go to the comments right quick. We saw B.
Got Angel in the house.
B saying hello, Jerzey. Yeah. Oh, Angel, my brother. I got it today, bro. I got this shit is dope. I'm gonna set something up. My Angel sent me some stuff, bro, and I'm gonna set up a little background here for the show using what he sent me. Hopefully, in the next couple weeks. Damn, Angel, you're a real one, brother. Straight up, man. Straight up. So y'all see that here in a little while, but thank you, man. I appreciate it. Sylvia, I don't know which part you're laughing at. I'm hoping it's about the whole Detroit Lions thing, okay? Because yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, man. So we have not got a chance to really get in depth talking about this quite yet, bro. But it's about time. It's about time, man. The UFL, as you've been reporting on it, as I
Yes.
reported on it, talked about it last week's episode, it's finally official. The teams have been named. We've got the first game of the season, a date, and we're still waiting on everything else. It's almost like they said, look, there we go. There. Yeah. You're happy now. We're still not happy. Damn it. I wanted 16 damn teams. But hey, you know what? We got us some teams, right? We're ready to go. And to Jerzey, what do you think? Did I lose you, bro? Well, let's see if he chimes back in. He's got a link. So right when we get to the segment where I really wanted to get y'all in on what Jerzey's talking about as far as the UFL right now, the United Football League, the new spring football league that everybody's been talking about. 8 teams, like I told you guys last week. There are 8 teams, and it's 2 conferences. It's the XFL conference and the USFL conference, which is the dumbest freaking thing, I swear. I don't know who thought of that. I mean, so far their marketing team's been okay, but that was, come on, y'all couldn't think of something better than using the names of the 2 old leagues, especially when one of the names from the XFL is now one of the teams in the USFL conference, but they're UFL. I don't know. I'm about as confused as you guys are. All right, but let me get this back to him. Let me get Jerzey back in here really quick. Give me 1 second. It's just going to take a couple of clicks. Let me get him this link again. Real quick, y'all. Sorry about that. But Angel, straight up, man. Yo, man, I opened it up. I was like, damn. Like my boy ain't playing, man. It's dope. All right. There we go. Then let's see if we get Jerzey back in here. But until then, we're going to put off that whole segment here for just a little while. All right, till we get Jerzey back in here. Need to talk about some of the things that happened today, y'all. It's been getting crazy. Coaches, teams are needing coaches. Right now, we got 6 teams. 6 teams that are in need of coaches. Actually, make it 7 teams that are now in need of coaches. Okay? So stay tuned, and we'll talk about that on the next segment because I got Jerzey back. All right. You all right? Do I got you, bro?
Yes. I'm
all right. I got you on 2 right here. Hold on. Let me take one of them off.
I thought it was just me.
Okay. Yeah. You're good now.
All right, cool.
All right, bro. We got you back. Cool.
I was gonna
Now I
say,
wanted now I want to get into this whole UFL, man, because like I said, they're like throw this stuff out there, and they gave us enough information that for now, till we start getting antsy. And I'm thinking maybe like you do a schedule drop, like maybe Super Bowl weekend or during the playoffs. Just saying, their marketing team was actually pretty good about the way they went about this, announcing this. Now,
yeah, they were. They
you
actually
know,
did a pretty
so
good
they're
job
like, "Are
this
y'all
season.
happy?" And I'm like, "I'm still not happy because I wanted 16 teams, but." If I'm hoping this thing can grow back to 16 teams, I gotta support it. And plus, my Renegades are in there. So, give me your
Exactly.
thoughts, brother. Give everybody your thoughts, man. What do you think?
At first, I'm not even gonna lie, it hurt. I was like, damn, 8 teams. But now that I sit back and look at how they're trying to go about this, start off with 8 teams,
What's up,
and
G? Thanks for
and the
jumping in, bro.
reason the reason that they're doing it, in my opinion, is because let's face it, only 3 teams had home fields in the USFL. They're
Straight up.
they're going to have to do too much in a short amount of time, or they were going to have to do too much in a short amount of time to get these other 5 teams
Yeah.
a field
Yeah.
and be able to announce drafts, start training camp, release the schedule, do everything that they need to do, and then start the season. It was going to be too rushed. They weren't going to be able to
Yeah.
do it. So looking at that, I'm like, okay, I'll accept the 8 teams, especially if your ultimate goal is to get all 16 teams back and then start expanding as well.
Yeah.
Once we expand past the 16 team point, then you know we've succeeded.
Yeah.
In a way, we've succeeded to a certain point. And the goal of the UFL is long term.
Yeah.
Long term, long term, long term. You can tell by how these owners are going about it. You can tell by how much promotion the UFL is getting.
Yeah.
ESPN, Fox, the NFL is promoting the UFL. The NFL is talking about the UFL. The NFL is putting on UFL commercials or hype commercials for the start of the season during games.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. That's a big step forward. And that's better than what we had these past 2 seasons with the USFL or this past season with the XFL. So being
Arguably, I felt what we saw, in terms of, okay, I don't disagree with you, I guess. I guess what I wanted to say was that's better than what we've had, like market wise, everything like that.
exactly.
I just wish, and I don't mean to stop you, bro.
Oh, you're
It
good.
just it made me think, man. Like the one big complaint I really have too is as a guy who used to play as somebody like us who played, you love the game, and we loved the opportunity for all these guys to get another chance, right? And that's why we were so hyped about there being 2 leagues, that we wanted it so bad to succeed with 2 separate leagues, is because more talent, more
Hmm.
talent, more talent. And now it's even less now. But as far as I agree with you, everything else, other than maybe just the field, yeah, we still don't know yet how it's going to be, the product on the field. I expect it to be really good. I'm sure we both do, but yeah, everything else from the market, everything like the looking ahead, like you just did, with the NFL ties and what they can do with that if they capitalize on it. It
Yeah.
is it's much better,
It
close,
sets them up to have a
sooner
future.
vision. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because if the NFL's talking about it, more people who, let's say, aren't watching because it's not the NFL. Well, when you
yeah,
got the NFL, when you got that big entity talking about this smaller entity of football, but it's still professional football,
yeah,
more people now who aren't so supportive of spring football will at least start watching.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
love the game of football, it shouldn't matter if it's the NFL or the UFL.
And
Watch it.
to be honest, if this is going to be what the UFL and the XFL, well, I liked the product on the field for both. I still felt the product, at least the first half of the part of the thing, like as if you compare the 2 seasons, the USFL product, you could tell they had been in camp together. quite a while.
Mhm.
These were players that played together the year before because they were polished from week one. Whereas the XFL, remember, they had 2 weeks in camp. That was it
Yep.
before opening game. So that first half of the season, you saw it. The chemistry wasn't there with a lot of guys. The veterans came together a little quicker. But once that second half of the season, man, both of them killed it in the second half of the season as far as what we saw on the field, man. So now it's just a matter of we know what we're going to see on the field. It's the best of both leagues on the
Yeah.
field. So now we just got to hope that this is a marketing team that really knows what they're doing. I think like Dwayne Johnson, maybe he knows his role. Like I don't, no pun intended, because he loves that phrase, know your role, jabroni. But okay, maybe a little pun intended. He knows his role. Now they're like, look, you're just the face, dude, for the
Mhm.
jocks and for the football fans and for the casual fans that know you from the movies. Wrestling fans, you are the face. Now you bring
Exactly.
them to us and we'll take care of everything else. You don't handle the business. You don't handle none of that. That's pretty much his role, bro. Danny's
Yeah.
the one that's actually going to be running operations. So she's more of the she's got more of the mind up there, man. And he's always talked about how she's like so much a smarter person football wise than he is,
And that makes
which
no
which is
sense to me.
crazy. Yeah, I know.
I don't understand that. Like you played, you should know some type of something.
Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe he doesn't know the technical part of all of it. He's probably the guy that played but wouldn't have made a good coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So just went out there and just, threw the body around. But I mean, it's kind
Because
of like when you look at some of them, like, man, I always talk about her, my favorite one out there. If you want to talk females that know the game, probably more than most of the guys on TV, Mina Kimes. So y'all, it ain't even like a man or woman thing, y'all. It's just about what Jerzey's saying is, dude, you were on the field. You played at freaking NCAA Division One at a
at the
freaking program.
University of
At a
Miami,
program, yeah. So how do you not know more about the game than her?
you got coached by Jimmy Johnson.
Well, I think Jimmy left the year he came in, but Jimmy was recruiting him,
Yeah,
and something happened.
there you
Yeah,
go. You got
yeah.
recruited
Well,
by
you
Jimmy
got
Johnson.
recruited by Jimmy Johnson. That's a freaking accomplishment in itself, considering who Jimmy was at that time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that was right before his leap to the Dallas Cowboys. So
Exactly.
I just I don't know, man. I hope this thing works. I want it to work. I know you want it to work. And if you're a football fan, you got to support it, man. If you don't have a team, that's all right, man. Arlington Renegades, we're barely loading up the bandwagon. Y'all jump on now. All right, y'all
Hey,
jump on
but
now.
I can't even lie. Arlington's looking a little bit more dangerous.
They are, man.
I
They
just
are, and
picked
they
up a dual
and
threat quarterback.
yeah, yeah. And see
Oh
that's going to
my.
be, and you know how we saw a lot of teams do this. A lot of teams did
Mhm.
this in spring football where they use the two quarterback system like a college does,
Yeah.
and the whole point of that, y'all. And I explained this to a lot of my listeners when I was first covering spring football, that the reason some teams do that is because a lot of these guys aren't going to be there very long. The quarterbacks,
It's
they
going
they
on
may jump
easy.
to the NFL, they may do this or that, so they play the two quarterback system. But then at the same time, I was telling them, but the thing I love about what St. Louis had going on and Seattle with Danucci was that they were using the one quarterback, and you can see it, man. The teams,
Mhm.
there was just so much more chemistry. The guys had more of a handle of the offense because they're the ones out there every single play. So I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of teams doing that this year, though. We could be seeing Arlington. I don't know. I don't see no need to freaking have a two quarterback system there, though. But
I don't either.
it's not a bad idea for gadget plays. And of course, unfortunately, injuries do happen, man. So they're covering the back end right there at the QB2 position right there. So
Plus, why not have a dual quarterback, a dual threat quarterback learn from a guy like Luis Perez?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
that's true.
mean?
Learn how to be a pocket passer. Yeah, yeah,
And utilize his feet when he has to.
yeah,
That's the main thing that they're looking for. I believe his name is Lindsey Scott. That's the main thing they're looking to get out of him. Yeah, you can use your feet. Yeah, you're a threat when it comes to running the ball and getting out of the pocket. But can you get
yeah,
out of certain situations and scramble and keep your eyes downfield and make a pass? You know what
yeah,
I mean? So that's gonna come into to play with Luis and him, teaching him that pocket
yeah.
passer mentality. even when you go to scramble and still look down the field, still try to
Yeah,
make a play down the field with your arm first and trust your receivers before you say, well, I'm just going to run it because I know I can make at least 5, 6 yards with my feet.
yeah,
Look for that 10,
yeah,
12, 13-yard pass down the field to your receivers after you've made that scramble. That's what's going to make you a real dual threat quarterback. So we'll
yeah.
see. We'll definitely
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So y'all stay up on all that, man. And we're gonna keep you guys posted on everything. Follow the social medias, man. You guys already know. We'll keep y'all posted, man. But
What's going on, Easy?
and we'll go a lot more in depth with this stuff, y'all, over at the Gridiron on Saturdays. If y'all ain't watching, you need to be watching 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Wherever you're at, adjust accordingly because we ain't your
Sir.
daddies, okay? So you gotta do it on your own. All right.
We
So
ain't your clocks.
but we'll keep that we'll keep y'all posted on everything spring football related, man. And just keep just be on the lookout, y'all, because there's going to be more news picking up. Like I said, if they're smart, and I'm sure they're planning to do something with the schedule release during the playoffs or the Super Bowl. I'm expecting something,
And they do
or
have
maybe
another draft
maybe
coming up. We're calling
yeah,
it
and
the
maybe by the Super Bowl, maybe all we're gonna get, like maybe they'll do like a spot where they just announce a date for the schedule drop. You know what I mean? We could see something like that because it's gonna be coming up soon, y'all. All right, March 30th. It's the Battle of Champions. That's the one that's gonna kick it off between my beloved Arlington Renegades and the damn Stallions. I hate the Stallions like I hate the Eagles. And you know who that is, bro? You're in those spring football sites with me, bro. Those fans, dog.
Yeah, they are
Are
just
you want to talk about like arrogant and fucking annoying as shit, dog? Like, damn.
they're worse than Cowboys fans.
Yeah, yeah. Our people are bad.
Literally.
Yeah,
Birmingham Stallions fans are just,
yeah. They're bad.
oh my God. Like, y'all are like a spring leagues dynasty over 2 seasons. Okay. You did some Georgia University shit, back-to-back champions.
And let's be honest,
Awesome.
bro. Let's be honest. The better talent was in XFL, in my opinion, last year.
It really was.
Once we saw the XFL really start hitting its stride the second half of the season, bro, the product on the field was so much more exciting. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm telling them, man,
Mhm.
y'all were this big fish in a small pond. Now you're playing against
Exactly.
some XFL teams, and it's going to be the best of the best in the XFL. So we're going to see what they're about. But my Renegades are going to get it done, baby. That's all I know. All right, y'all. Let's keep rolling on now before we get to the main segment. All right.
Oh, before you do that,
Okay.
everyone listening, everyone watching, me and Gabe may have some things going on within the UFL as far as possibly becoming part of a news team. But we'll keep you guys posted.
Maybe.
We'll
Yeah.
keep you guys
A lot
posted
of details to work out.
if that does happen.
Yeah.
But just stay tuned for that. That's something big for us to further our careers in what we're doing, especially in the UFL. But just be on the lookout for that. If it happens, we'll keep you up to date with all the details and let you know when everything breaks. If it does,
Yeah.
just want to make
Absolutely.
sure I let you guys know about that.
Absolutely. All right, bro. So let me find the damn caption here, man. I put up the presets and I'm scrolling. Where's the one I want? Where's the one I want? There's the one I want. All right. All right, man. This one came in actually via the man sitting right next to me in your camera. I know he's not literally sitting right next to me,
But
but
I'm here.
I promise this is my first one, guys. All right. I didn't have enough time after work between that and getting home, man, to we can have anything more than that. But all right, man. So real quick though, before we go to this, I'm just checking out. Okay, saw something up on the comments.
B, I'm with you. I can't wait to watch
Yeah,
these games too.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. And Nick actually asked a while ago, who's the worst team, and he meant to put UFL. Man, I don't know. Right now, it's hard to tell. But if we're going based on what all the teams that are still there did last year, I'm gonna have to say Orlando, although their draft was really good. Was really good. But if we're going
Yeah.
based on what we've seen on the field most recently, Nick, to me it would be the Guardians, Orlando. I mean, they
even though they're
competed
not
last
here
year, but yeah,
this
they can.
season, but
Yeah.
last season they were just atrocious. They
So if he's asking of who's in there though, who's left, who would you say? Because most of the, I would say the gamblers. Gamblers. I mean, I know they're not the gamblers, but come on, man. All they did was they took the cape,
Roughneck
the
name,
cloak that said the Roughnecks, and they went to the gamblers, little freaking raggedy ass trash squad, and threw it over and said, "There you go. You are now the Roughnecks."
and then
Horrible.
all the Roughnecks players got thrown in a draft. And it's like, well,
That
damn,
was messed up, man. That was messed up because literally Houston's better team of spring football,
was the Roughnecks.
they showed them the door and they said, but that little name right there, yeah, y'all can't keep that. We're giving it to these other dudes, man.
And
But
shout
I
out
would
to
think,
Rig Rocker and Predator Couple and all the
you
super
know what? They
fans
got it
of the
done, bro.
Roughnecks
They did.
with their
I mean,
petition.
they didn't get to keep their team, but they got to keep the team name, which I think was ultimately the most important aspect of it all.
Yep,
That you
the
still have
brand.
Roughnecks
They got
football,
to
the
keep
brand,
the
exactly.
Roughneck brand,
Yeah,
and that's mainly what a lot of people were shooting for. Anyways, we want the
yeah,
Roughneck brand. We want the
yeah.
Roughneck brand. So, if you're looking for a team to watch, since my Vipers aren't around, the Renegades.
The Renegades, defending champions, just snuck into the playoff. But as y'all would listen to my show, I kept telling you guys when it comes to sports, all football, especially because it's one and done. You get any given week, like you just got to get in. And that's what they did, man. So yeah, you got them. Just please don't be a Stallions fan, Primo. Please don't. They're the worst of the worst.
I
Um,
mean, you could
I mean,
even
you
throw your
might even
Battle
just
Duck.
watch the games and let your heart kind of decide, man.
Nicholas,
You
you can
know,
go watch the Battle Ducks of St. Louis. You
oh, the
know, I'm always
Battlehawks, yeah.
Battle
That
Ducks.
they were
Battle Ducks.
very entertaining team to watch last year, though,
They
man.
are. They have the
Yeah,
most fans.
now, the big question,
Easy
though,
E says Battle Hawks. The
the
Battle Ducks.
the Battle
Quack
Ducks.
quack.
The thing
I
is,
better
I don't
hope
know. I
AJ
mean,
comes back.
we'll see if AJ comes back. But yeah, just keep posted with us, man, and we'll keep you guys posted on everything spring football. Now,
Yes, sir.
so a few weeks ago, this is a question that's been lingering, been waiting. Jerzey sent in some listener emails, so we're gonna get to that now that we got him on the show, so we can discuss this, and then we'll get into the big topic of the week. We're gonna start with your question, brother. All right,
We can't
Jerzey asked me. He says, "What do you think the Pac-12 will do this offseason to keep the conference alive, bro?" That was your question. All right. Well, I'll go first since the question was directed at me, and then I'll get your thoughts, man. But
Okay.
Eric, sorry, I just look at the comment.
Yeah.
See, this is
All
why I
right.
usually wait for a while to go to the comments because, like, I get thrown off. Something y'all post is like funny or something. So,
It's all right, easy. You know, I'm a Viper, you're a Battle Duck. It's all right. It's all right.
man, yeah,
My
yeah,
Vipers ain't even there right now.
yeah, yeah. And you know what, man? They had such an opportunity to use that Seattle and St. Louis thing and make a rivalry out of it. Had they just kept Seattle there, but
We could have a Western conference. Like we could have
yeah,
teams on the West Coast, and we don't right now. It's
yeah.
one thing that I don't like. But let's talk about the Pac-12.
Speaking of the West Coast, as a lot of you guys know or don't know, the Pac-12, everybody's jumping ship, man. Now that freaking SEC, and you're gonna have those like power one or two, three conferences.
Mhm.
Everybody's going. All these teams are joining these conferences. All these schools. Pac-12, y'all. Like, if you guys know sports, it's not just basketball. Pac-12. Pac-12 has been like the premier athletic conference
Yeah.
in collegiate sports on the western part of the United States, man. Like the Pac-12 was always the elite, but not no more. Not no more, man. Everybody's been going everywhere, and I tell you, bro, the more I keep thinking about it, well, we're gonna end up with two teams after next year, right?
Yeah.
Is it Washington State and Oregon?
Washington State
Oregon
and Oregon
State?
State.
Oregon State, which is why they actually took the Pac-12 to court and they won a few months back. That now those two schools are the only for this season. They won the right to be the only, like, their votes are the ones that matter at all. That's it. No other team, even teams that are going to remain there for one more year, their votes won't matter on anything conference related next year.
Yep.
So they basically won because the judge said, "Well, look, these are the only two schools that aren't freaking dipping out on you." So yeah, you know. Now I've been doing some research, and it looks like they have a few options. One of the options I saw was relating to what they do, like in the Euro leagues in Europe, like with soccer.
Mhm.
They call it football, whatever. It ain't football. It's not my football, but and they talk about how the guys, like, some teams get jumped up a conference when they have a good
Yeah.
season and get down. So they're saying that it is a possibility legally for them to do that within the NCAA with the Pac-12, and they were talking about another conference. I think it was like the Sun Belt and the Mountain West, of course. Everything I saw, though, all the different ideas, bro, all somehow involved some kind of partnership with the Mountain West.
Because the Mountain West
Um,
did good this season.
Yeah, yeah.
At least
So
3 or
they're
4.
they're talking about, like, the Pac-12 now with the teams remaining,
Mhm.
scheduling so many games against Mountain West opponents, and then every year 2 good teams would jump up, or after the first year or something, 2 teams from the Mountain West would jump up.
Okay.
And after that, 2 more teams, and then the Pac-12 would send one down until the contract of however many teams each one would end up with after the deal. The more I read about that, I was like, that could work. That could work.
Yeah.
Plus you're getting, Washington State and Oregon State, who you normally wouldn't see playing a lot of teams from the Mountain West every year. So that if I'm looking at it, I don't know what they're going to do next year, but that seems to be the route that they're going to schedule a lot of games with the Sun Belt and the Mountain West for the teams that will be there. And I
I
don't
wish they
know.
would have did Conference USA instead of the Sun Belt, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
if
agree.
they're gonna
I
do
agree.
something like that, because if you look at it, Conference USA has more talented teams.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Liberty was one of the only unbeaten teams. Granted, as I expected, they did not even hold a candle to Oregon in the bowl game. But I told people that. I told people that on the show. Like, I was like, look, y'all, I love, the Liberty, unbeaten, but they don't have an argument to play in that freaking tournament because they
Yeah.
could not roll with these guys. And I think Oregon proved that, which is okay. But I mean, the fact that they went unbeaten, they beat 6 bowl teams in their season this year, it would give them an opportunity to say, all right, now let's schedule some stuff this year against Washington State and Oregon State and see what we,
Mhm.
and so I'm with you on that, man. I really think that they missed the ship right there because Conference USA is growing right now.
Yeah.
So
Look at,
so they're
isn't
prime.
New Mexico State in Conference USA?
Yeah,
If I'm not
this was the
mistaken?
first year. First year
And
for them, man, Liberty, and those two were in the championship, man.
and New Mexico State went what, 10-4? They ended the season what, 10-4
11 and 4.
or
I
eleven
might
and
be
four?
wrong. I might be 10 and 4. But nonetheless, man, made it to a bowl game, which whatever.
They had
Good
10
thing is the
wins.
bowl. Yeah, yeah.
They had 10 wins.
Made it to the Conference USA Championship. Beat Auburn on their turf.
Beating a
And
normal
I, and I mean
normally
they
an
and I mean they
SEC
beat them up, bro.
contender.
Auburn didn't even lose like that to Alabama the following week.
Yeah,
Like, so they
very
should have
true.
beaten
Hell,
Alabama.
Alabama, they barely escaped Auburn in the Iron
That
Bowl.
was a prayer. That was what you call a miracle. That's what that damn thing was. That freaking last, yeah. But so I'm thinking, I like what I read, that latter one that I told you. I think something like that can work, bro. If they
Yep.
do that, but I'm thinking next year. As far as next year, this offseason, I think they got to focus on scheduling next year. What
So
they
you don't
do
think
have,
adding more teams? Because currently it's
um,
going to be the Pac-4, and then you got Stanford and Cal leaving after that.
I do think if they do, it's there's it's gonna have to be somebody for some deal with Mountain West. Or I mean, somebody's gonna have to leave Mountain West or something because Pac-12 is not just gonna say, okay, we're desperate, we'll take anybody. there's still history in that name.
Very
And
true.
anybody who's going to try to get into that conference, as much in trouble as it is, they know what they're going to be getting just by saying they're a Pac-12 team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you're going to have a solid program for the Pac-12 to pay attention, but they could be adding one or two. I could see them adding two teams, to be honest. It's not going to be like somebody out of the ACC or nothing like that, but kind of that next level down, kind of like that's why I keep saying Mountain West, because Mountain West, like all those programs in there are that right below those top tier schools.
Yeah.
So I could see something like that, man. Hell, I'd love to see freaking what is it, San Diego State move there. That would be
That
a
wouldn't
good
be
move.
bad.
Yeah, that would be a good move for them. But
Because you got to look at it. If you put some of these teams, like you're saying, in the Mountain West or even Conference USA or the Sun Belt Conference, you put some of these teams in the Pac-12 conference itself, just the Pac-12 name will help these teams get better recruitment.
yeah,
It'll help these teams get better players wanting to come there, because now you have to look at it. If a lot of these players weren't going to these conferences, or excuse me, to these teams, because these colleges weren't in specific conferences.
yeah,
They could be from New Mexico. They could be from San Diego and want to play right at home. But they're looking at it like, well, if I play at home with the school that's located where I'm from,
yeah.
they're not going to get it. They're not going to get looked at like that.
No.
They would have to do too much work and be the best player on that damn team, hands down, for them to even get considered to enter the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put these teams in a different conference, especially as elite as the Pac-12 conference is, with the history of the Pac-12, the name of the conference itself. It's started from the Pac-8, I believe started with the Pac-8 and got all the way to the Pac-12. So you gotta look at it from the history that this conference holds. If you put new teams in here, especially on the West Coast, you put new teams in there that a lot of star players coming out of high school are wanting to go to but can't because of the conference that it's in.
Yeah.
And they're looking ahead at their future as well, trying to make it to the NFL. It wouldn't be feasible for them. But you put these teams in the Pac-12 conference, now it's like, okay, I can stay at home. I can play at San Diego State and know I'm going to be playing some good competition because it's the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Money's going to start rolling in.
Let's say it was Conference USA. Let's say they invited a team like Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We saw, what happened with Liberty and Oregon, whatever that happened. Most of us knew it was going to happen, but what Liberty showed was that they were a top tier middle school. You know what I mean? Like that. And now imagine as good as they are,
300 recruits away.
I was going to say, imagine as good as they are right now. If they jump to Pac-12, like you mentioned, the recruiting, imagine what that would do for Liberty's recruiting for the team they already have right now that went unbeaten in the regular season. And you add some of that Pac-12 influenced recruiting where they're getting another level of players more interested. Like, damn, a team like Liberty from where they're at right now. Oh, bro, an invite to the Pac-12. You give them 1 or 2 seasons of top recruiting classes coming into the Pac-12. That team would be a problem.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They would be a problem. And I say Liberty because it would take from the newly kind of realigned Conference USA, it would take the champion who went unbeaten to have a valid argument to say, look, this is why we belong in the Pac-12, or something like that. So, but yeah, man, I mean, I love the point you made about recruiting, because that Pac-12 name alone, like gets recruits, bro. What? Because, and they're not looking at what's going on now. They're just, you hear Pac-12, bro, you think USC, Reggie Bush. You know what I mean? You think UCLA, Troy Aikman. You think of all that history, man, Stanford. And Cal, all that history, with Rogers there.
Yeah.
You think of all that history when you hear Pac-12. So
Oregon,
they got to jump on
Oregon
it.
State.
Yes.
There's so many top caliber teams.
Yeah.
And now they're leaving. They're moving on to the Big 10 and the Big 12. So that just leaves the Pac-12 open for smaller teams to get big.
Yeah.
Liberty being one of them. I really think that Liberty should leave Conference USA. The way they played this past season, the way they've been playing the last couple seasons, I think those are one of the teams that
I
needs to leave the Conference
I
USA and
think
go to
I think
Pac-12.
because this was their first year there, and I'm looking at it, I guess, from maybe like somebody like the Pac-12, their commissioners and stuff, of saying, okay, show us one more year like that.
Mhm.
Show us one more year like that we see you can sustain this over one more than one season, and then guess what? We'll have a spot for you.
But the
You know what I
crazy
mean?
thing
So
is, Liberty's been doing this over the last 5 to 7 seasons. They've
yeah,
had
yeah,
winning
yeah,
seasons.
yeah.
Some have been undefeated, and they've went to a conference championship game, whichever conference they were in, and some of them have been 1, maybe 2 lost seasons. You got to give
You
Liberty
know,
credit.
and then bringing in Jacksonville State, like what they did, and then Delaware now just signed
Mhm.
on. So Conference USA now with the teams they lost by rebuilding, by just re-adding up, they went to like NMSU, and they went to Division II, bro. And they
Yep.
said, "All right, look, come on, y'all gonna come up to the big boys now, and you're gonna get an opportunity to show something." So the Conference USA right now could be onto something, because me and you have talked about like Division II and you know the black colleges, man. That's, oh my God, you get so much talent.
Yeah.
It goes unseen, bro. And it's so now
Like,
Conference
look at
USA is
Jackson
like, we're gonna
State
do.
this
Yeah.
past season.
Mhm.
Even without Shador Sanders and
Yes.
Deion Sanders and Shiloh and Travis Hunter and all those players that were there the years before, look at them. They still
Yeah.
damn near went to a conference championship game.
All right, bro. Let's go to real quick. Now, okay, Nick, this is a subject that I think me and Jersey agree on, bro. But this is one I don't want to get into, because this could be a big debate, not between me and you, but just
No.
with people that think like him. Like, if you see that, you don't see the bigger picture, man. Like, the bigger picture is that they just, real quick, I'll break it down for you, Primo. NCAA and these schools, they make so much money off the brands and names and talent of all of these players.
Yep.
These guys that are there on scholarship, they don't have money to eat off of, because they don't have time for a part-time job. When you're there on scholarship, all you do is school and sports, school and sports, school football. You're doing practice 2 days. You don't have time to have a second job. So it became a problem that a lot of these guys didn't have money, which is why they were taking payouts under the table.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because they got to eat. When you're a college student and you're there on scholarship, you're not there because your family's rich. You know, some of them maybe, but not all of them.
You're there
So,
strictly off your
yeah.
talent.
So I'm like, when this finally happened, I'm like, pay them. I am cool with that. You know
They
what I mean?
deserve it.
Because y'all NCAA is one of the highest grossing, like, freaking entities in the United States,
Yeah.
and it's off of these players, all these sports, man. So I have no problem with it, Jersey. I'm just saying.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? That, like, these guys deserve to be paid, man. And so they work hard. They work hard to get on these teams. When you're in those big programs, you don't just make it on talent alone, because they got talent lining up at the door at Alabama. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
well, at least they did. I don't know about now, y'all, because Nick Saban just retired today. But hell, hey, maybe I'm thinking I saw something today, bro. I don't know if you saw this, and it was a thing talking about, like, an article saying that about Shador Sanders is already, like, on social medias, like, putting it out there, like, Alabama players. If y'all looking to for a way out, like, look
Yeah, I
over here,
did see that.
Colorado. That's smart. That is smart,
I
bro.
did
He's
see
he's
that.
already getting his dad's freaking, like, marketing genius right
Mhm.
there. He sees an opportunity, and he says, "I'm gonna go to what people my age are doing. We're gonna get on social media, player to player, and I'm gonna tell them, hey, I'm the quarterback, I'm the leader of this team, and I'm telling y'all, come, you're welcome.
You're
Trade,
here,
hit that trade portal."
and we can make something happen.
Yeah,
Come to Colorado, and we can
that's
take
right.
over the Big 12.
That's right.
Because that's where they're
That's
going
right.
next season. Come
Yeah,
to Colorado, we'll take over the Big 12, because you're losing Texas, you're losing Oklahoma in the Big 12. All you're going to have is a washed up TCU who got blown out in the national championship game last year. You know what I mean? So what's really there? Kansas State, Iowa State, Houston,
Yeah.
UCF. You know, Cincinnati just moved to the Big 12. Like, I believe if I'm not mistaken, Cincinnati moved to the Big 12 too. It's like, what's going?
Everybody.
Colorado has a prime chance. Arizona State, I believe, is going back to the or going to the Big 12. Like, there's a lot going on in the Big 12. There's a lot
There's a
going
lot of
on
movement, y'all.
in
Man.
these different conferences, and Shador Sanders to sit here and say, "Hey, come on over here." You know what I mean? We need players. We need an offensive line.
Yeah.
I need a couple more receivers I could throw to. You know what I mean? We need another running back in the backfield to help out. You know what I mean? And by doing that, like you said, going on social media and putting that recruitment out to
Yeah.
those players to jump in that transfer portal and
And
transfer.
he knew too that it would get attention because that's how you it was like
Yep.
I don't know if it was like a Sports Illustrated, one of the like the big, where that has like hundreds of thousands of followers, these sports sites that actually posted that little mini article talking about it. So they got a hold of that. And he knew that.
Exactly.
He knew that. And he probably told his dad. His dad's like, do it. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, man. But yeah, all right, man. So there you go. There you go. We're going to find out what the Pac-12 does, though, this offseason because the offseason has officially kicked in. Now that damn Michigan won. I had a feeling they would. I wanted Washington, but I just knew that defense from Michigan. But you know what, bro? This could be how long, though, are they going to hold that title? Because it
No,
very well could get stripped from them. I don't know. It would
it
be, it
depends
would
on
be, has
whenever.
it, let me ask you something. Do you know? I don't know. I can't know unless I research it. Can't know off the bat. Has that ever happened where an NCAA Division I national champion has ever been stripped?
I don't think. I don't think they've been stripped of the title.
I mean, they've been like penalized for
They've
something,
been
but
penalized
not. It
or
wasn't enough to take
lost
the championship
scholarships.
away.
Yeah, they've lost scholarships. They haven't gone as far as the Reggie Bush incident where he actually got stripped of the Heisman.
That was
You know,
BS, man. That was
it
BS.
wasn't to that nature. But
Yeah.
I believe the farthest that they've gone is a team is tied with another team and had
Or
to
they.
share the
Yeah.
national championship.
Yeah. That I've seen. I've seen scholarships be taken away from a championship
Mm.
team for something they did, but
Or
it
like
would. So
SMU
it could very well. Now I don't want to say it would be unprecedented because maybe it has happened. Like I said, I don't want to look it up right now. I'm just being honest, but it could be unprecedented if it were to happen. I don't know, being that I can't think of me or you can't think of anything off the bat. Um, I don't know if the NCAA would want to go to that extreme.
I don't think they would
I
either.
don't think so. I think they'll lose scholarships. I think for sure. Maybe even lose bowl eligibility for a year or two. Um, which would hinder their opportunity for recruiting to defend the championship if that happens. But I don't know. I mean, that's all speculation, really, really from our end. But yeah, that's a whole other conversation, man. What went down with Michigan this year? So we're gonna keep rolling on. Um, Now it's about that time, y'all. We got to get into the main topic, but let's head to the comments. And Angel, we will talk about this here in a minute, y'all, because there are a lot of news, guys. Okay, right now there are seven teams looking for a head coach. Okay, I'm gonna name them for you: Carolina, Tennessee, Atlanta, the Las Vegas Raiders, the LA Chargers, Washington Commanders, and team that just this was big news today. Pete Carroll will no longer be the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. So Seattle now becomes the seventh team looking for a head coach. And this Dan Quinn thing is really taking off with a lot of the media, of course, because of the ties there. Now, I'm listening. I'm on the way home today, bro. I'm trying to get home and I'm listening to I have Sirius XM in the car, so I listen to NFL radio a lot. NFL Talk Radio, and they're talking about this. And one of the guys on there, Charlie Weiss, he was like, well, I know Dan really good, he says, and I know his connections, they're really good. He said if he were to be hired, there would be no problem with the fans, with anybody there, because everybody loves Dan Quinn in Seattle. He
Right.
gets along with
They really
ownership. It's been a stable general manager. It's a great situation. Then he followed that up with saying, he goes, but he said, just 2 months ago, I'm having a conversation with him. And he said that even if he does get offers in the offseason, that it will have to be something that really, really grabs him, because Charlie Weiss says he really conveyed how happy he is in Dallas. He
he
feels that
did say that.
he's treated well. He loves the way he's treated by the organization, by the fans,
And he
the
loves
media.
his players.
Yes.
He
That's why he didn't
loves
leave last
them.
year. He
Yep,
said, I cannot
exactly.
see anybody else coaching this squad that I am putting together right now.
That's why I
So
don't see Dan Quinn taking this job.
like he
Especially
said,
depending
as
on how far
he
we
is
go.
quoted as saying, he's quoted as saying that it would have to be a a situation that, like, it's just too good to say no.
Yeah,
Too good.
it has to be,
Um, yeah, yeah.
because you
So
have to look at it. He refused to leave in 2020, or excuse me, 2021. He refused to leave in 2022. Don't think he's going to want to leave this year.
no, no.
Don't think he's going to do it. I don't think it,
Now,
especially if we can make it to the NFC Championship or further.
yeah, see, the thing about this defense is that they're young, y'all. We have, we got DeMarcus Ware, there was a veteran, Gilmore, but we're one of the top three youngest defenses in the league right now. Okay, so he's not just going to walk away from that, especially when he knows this man knows what he has in Michael Parsons. Okay, he knows what he has in Trayvon Diggs, a player that he has been coaching up since his rookie year and now made him an elite, basically Diggs Island now. Because before he went down this year through 3 games, Diggs was the most shut down corner graded by PFF in the league in the first part of the season. So Dan Quinn has built up something special. It would have to be something really major. Now, in the scenario where Dallas does not make it to an NFC championship, me and you have talked about this, Jerzey, all season. We've talked about it before the season, and we both agree that Mike McCarthy, this squad would have to get to an NFC championship, and if they lost, would have to play well in order for him to save his job. And even then, that might not be good enough, which is kind of, it shows you what the expectations are, which is weird for a team that hasn't won anything in a quarter of a century, right? But the fan base is so big, so rabid, so loyal, so devoted, so annoying sometimes. Damn it.
Yeah.
But it shows you, do we expect too much? Because this dude, every year he's been there, bro, outside of Dak's injury year, but he's gone three straight seasons now with 12 wins.
Yeah.
12, 3-12, or I don't know if it's straight, but 3-12 win seasons when he's had Dak Prescott all season long, bro. So are we being unfair? Or is it where this is why he was brought here, right? To get us to a Super Bowl. And
That's why he was brought here.
If 4 years in, now they say 3 years because the Dak injury one, that's kind of like a gimme year. Okay. But by now, do you feel that playing well in an NFC Championship loss would be enough to save his job, or do you think it has to be a Super Bowl appearance?
I think it has to be a Super Bowl appearance. And I say that because he's had several years with Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. He's had how many years now with that defense becoming what it has become now?
Yeah.
And the way Dak has played this season has secured Dak's job.
Yeah, and
Mike McCarthy's job in jeopardy.
I got to tell you, bro.
The game, you got to look at it like this: if Dak goes into the playoffs and he's picks up where he left off in the regular season, and he continues to play lights out, and he continues to put up the numbers he's putting up, and he continues to keep the turnovers down, and Mike McCarthy just does bad game management, clock management, play calling, and causes us to get put in situations to where we're throwing the ball like Kellen Moore.
It's good to know that I'm not the only
With the
one that's
time,
afraid of his game management. That's his one weakness, bro, to be honest.
his game
And
management, and his
it's
clock management.
it's
He's
bad because
horrible.
it has to be there in crunch time in the playoffs. It just
Yeah.
has to be there because you can win one where it could be like last year where we win the first one by blowout. But at some point during the playoffs, you're gonna get battle tested.
Hmm.
And that's when coaching has to do their part with time management. And so that's my biggest worry, bro, to be honest. But the reason I brought up McCarthy now, you talked about Dak Prescott. And one thing I think that's helped. Let's look at McCarthy, bro. He got some of Brett Favre's best years. Okay. And then when McCarthy got there, when he took over and he's there coaching, winning the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, he brought out the best in Rodgers. It's
And
no
that was his
coincidence. Yeah.
best clock management and
And
game
it's no
management scheme.
coincidence now that he not only did he get the best out of Favre, the best out of Rodgers, we're seeing the best Dak Prescott that we've seen.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's coincidence. I think it's true. When Jerry talks, people want to act like Jerry don't know football, bro. Yes, he's a horrible general manager. We get that. But you don't own a football team and be so invested in your team every single year, the stranglehold he has of control, without knowing what the hell you're seeing on the field. He knew he said it when he hired him that this guy is going to elevate Dak Prescott's game because that's what he does with quarterbacks, and that's what we're seeing. So that's one thing that will help him if it comes to that. But the reason I brought up McCarthy in the first place, man, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic here,
You're fine, bro.
is because I think if he is gone, Dan Quinn takes that job. He
Yep.
takes that job over any other job.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Because why not be able to stay with the same team, stay with that same defense, and just become the head coach?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
but it's gonna be hard because when Mike McCarthy got the best out of Aaron Rodgers, and had his best season when it came to play calling and game and clock management, what happened? The Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
We're seeing that this season.
Hey, you know what looks mighty familiar? That little chemistry between Dak Prescott and CD Lamb.
Man,
It sure looks a lot like Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams type of chemistry, bro. So I'm telling you, Mike McCarthy, he has already done wonders for this offense. Now, like you said, though, there's a lot more than that to coaching, and his clock management cannot become a problem. So all I'm saying, it's simple math at times. Like just run the damn ball and run the clock out.
yeah.
Don't get crazy, like you said when you brought in Kellen Moore. Ah, I
Because
hate
he's constantly. I hate it when he sits there and he gets in that. Okay, we're just gonna pass,
Yeah.
pass
They're
mode.
gonna be
There's no
expecting run. We're
need.
gonna pass. We're gonna pass. No, that's how you throw in completions. You kick you have a 60
Stop the
second,
clock when we don't need it.
60-second 3 and out, and you give them the ball back. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Let's look to the comments real quick, bro. I hope that answers your question too, Angel. All right. So we tried to get into that, but oh man, we got trolls up in here. Niner game, man. We'll see y'all. Maybe. You better hope the Rams don't beat the Lions. That's all I'm saying.
You better hope
Better
the
hope.
Bucks don't beat the Eagles.
Yeah, we'll
Just
get to those.
saying.
We'll get to
But I
those
do
games
like
here in a little while,
I do
man.
like Niner
Nick
games next
Saban to the
summer.
Cowboys. No, we don't want Nick Saban. We don't want Nick Saban.
It's interesting,
If it's not McCarthy, no, I want Dan Quinn running this team.
but
If it's
that's
not McCarthy.
interesting. Nick Saban to the Cowboys, not as a head coach, offensive coordinator.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? It could. Just to see Nick Saban not as a head coach would be hard.
Hey, man, I know, man, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to see Nick Saban somewhere else on the sideline other than that head coaching position, it's just
kind of weird, man. I don't know.
It's like
weird.
that's Nick.
You know what? I have a feeling we're going to see Nick Saban spend a season in the booth, and and maybe as an analyst. He's done it
True.
before. We've seen him do it for some of the college games, so it could happen. Since we're still back on college and we backed up, Joey, what is up, Joey? How you doing, brother? Hey, he says with the college playoff expanding to 12, you could see a team like Liberty, which is like we were just talking about, competing for the national championship, representing Conference USA, if they were to have another season like they did. Real quick, Jerzey, I know we got off this one already, but since we went to the comments and we jumped back to this, I don't know if they would make a national championship in Conference USA. I think it would have to first come via jumping like to Pac-12, like we talked about. Or do you think that could happen? I mean, Boise State
I
some years
think it
back,
could
it
happen.
could as a Conference USA
With 12
representative.
teams, with
Oh,
12 teams,
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter. It doesn't
that's
even
true.
matter what
Because
conference
then
you're in anymore.
then you're at a tournament, so it's basically every team. Then they
It's
would,
every
and
team.
hey y'all, if this had been a 12-team tournament this year, I think Liberty gets in because of the undefeated record.
Why would
So
Liberty play the 1 seed though, Niner gang? Why? Just because
yeah,
they're in the Conference USA?
I think in a
That's not
12,
fair.
I think in a 12, if it was this year because they were unbeaten, I don't think they would have been a 12 seed.
At all.
Maybe
You would
maybe
have the
11,
top
maybe
12
11
teams.
worst. Yeah. Yeah. But I think
Literally.
that unbeaten record and 6 wins against both teams would give them
And
that
winning the
that edge.
conference championship?
Yeah.
Come on now. You can't throw them too far down, because at the end of the day, like Gabe just said, they beat 6 bowl teams. 6. They beat an Auburn team in the SEC.
No,
Who?
that was NMSU.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But they did beat
You're right.
NMSU. They beat NMSU twice, which was saying a lot because even going into that championship, NMSU was on a roll.
They
I
were
mean, we
on
were
a
killing it. We were killing it.
streak.
And when talent really won out in that conference championship. Y'all need to watch these games sometimes, because you think just because it's a college that isn't being blown up on the media that there's no talent. Bro, you could sit there sometimes, and we're watching these like some of these Division II schools, and I'll just be like, okay, that's what's on. And I'll throw it on. I'm like, damn, I'm watching guys making one-handed grabs. You know what I mean? I'm watching linemen get in there like crazy. There's talent there. There's talent there.
Mhm.
There's talent in Liberty. Anybody that watched that game knows there's talent there, man. That receiver and that quarterback that they got, though. You
And
talk
they've
about
been
speed.
building this over the last few seasons, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Liberty's been relevant for the last almost 10 seasons. Let's stop playing and acting like they haven't. Liberty's had some undefeated seasons and have gotten snubbed, of course, out of even being in the top 10 because of the conference that they were in. That's why they moved up to the Conference USA, because they kept getting snubbed out of even top 10 rankings. You know what I mean? And they're going undefeated and they're playing decent teams.
Yeah.
Again, you got to imagine they've been playing bowl eligible teams every single season for the last 5 to 7 seasons. Liberty's no slouch. Let's not forget that. Liberty is no slouch.
Yeah. That's true. That's true, man. So, all right, man. Let's keep rolling on, bro. Hell, man. Let's get to the main course for the day. All right.
Yes, sir. I'm with
Let's
it.
do that, man, because y'all already know. Y'all already know it is NFL Super Wild Card weekend, and we are here for it to talk it with you guys, baby. Thank you to each and every one of you that are joining us tonight in the chats. We appreciate y'all as we get to the beginning of this segment. I am Gable Garcia, aka the Wicked One OG Double G,
And I am Jersey King.
the man over here to this side of me, that is Jerzey the King, my co-host over at the Gridiron, actually, not the Gridiron. All right. So, hey, bro, we got, man, this last weekend was crazy. Some teams had to win to get in. We saw the Saints try to play their ass off to get in, and it wasn't enough because the Bucks basically said, no, we Bucks won 9-0, y'all. Carolina's defense is legit. They end the regular season in the top 4.
Yeah.
I think they're 1 up on Dallas. So that's why I bring up whenever people talk about like who the defense that Dak beat this week. I'm like, well, see what he did to the Jets defense, which is elite. See what he did. Everybody looks at Carolina and they think the defense is bad. So they had a hard time. The Bucks did, but their defense did enough, obviously, to win, and they locked in their playoff spot. The Texans, bro, that was a game. Oh, that was
a
bro.
really,
I had
really
my
good
sheets.
game.
I had my sheets I had four of my big football post sheets that I do every week, man. And every time I came to that game, it was that toss up. Like, do I flip a coin because Indy or freaking Houston can win this game? And we knew it was going to be close. And, Houston
Yeah.
went up, Indy came back, and Houston, found it within themselves, man, to get it done, man. CJ Stroud, shout out to CJ Stroud,
CJ
offensive
Stroud.
rookie of the year. Just give the man the trophy now. Okay.
Right.
I know Nakua. I know if CJ Stroud did not get this team to the playoffs, I think Nakua has a better
Wins
argument to win this. But I'm
hands
sorry,
down.
CJ Stroud came in as a rookie, took the worst team in football last year to a division title, okay, into the playoffs. They're hosting a playoff game. Bro, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year, dog.
And they
That's
have
crazy.
2 rookies on both sides of the
Yeah.
ball
Yeah.
leading their team to
Yeah.
a division title in the playoffs. And the
And
Jacksonville
and
Jaguars
and a
favor still.
rookie head coach and a
The
rookie
rookie
head
head
coach.
coach.
Yeah.
You take that and all into consideration of what they've accomplished in just one off season. One off season. Like, don't get me wrong, last season they had a decent defense. The
Yeah.
offense just wasn't up to par. Then you put in a quarterback like CJ Stroud. You put in a defensive captain like Will Anderson Jr. at linebacker. And then you bring in a defensive mind at head coach
DeMeco Ryans, yeah.
in DeMeco Ryans, who knows how to let his offensive coordinator do their job.
That is what I think has been the most impressive thing for the Houston Texans this year for me, is that DeMeco Ryans is coming from a franchise over of what they have under Shanahan's system, where it's that classic punch you in the mouth on both sides of the ball.
Mhm.
We're going to play defense and suffocate you, but then our offensive coordinator is going to roll the ball down your mouth and we're going to manage the game. I expected that when I saw DeMeco Ryans was getting hired there, and I'm like, all right, we saw what Dameon Pierce did last year as a rookie running back. I said, okay, that's what they're going to do. He's going to try and build what they got in San Francisco. And he was like, no, like you said, he told the offensive coordinator, you know what? You want to light their ass up through the air with a rookie? You go ahead. I'm going to trust you
Mhm.
because it's been money, bro. I mean, CJ Stroud, I knew it. We all knew it. We talked a lot about it in the offseason that this guy was the most NFL ready quarterback in this last year's draft.
Yep.
I expected him to do well, but I didn't expect this. I'm not going to front on you and say, man, you know what? I told y'all he was going to win this. No, I expected him to have a good season as a rookie, but damn, bro. I mean, Jacksonville, you talk about shitting the bed. There was a point like mid-season when some graphic came up that they had the best chance to win the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, they had like a 90-something% chance.
And all they had to do was win on
Mhm.
the end of the season. Just win on Sunday. And they couldn't get it done, bro. And you look at teams like Jacksonville, New Orleans, Philadelphia. To me, probably the top 3 based on expectations, or maybe the Chargers, top 4 most disappointing teams this season because they were all set up roster-wise
Yeah.
to really make runs at their divisions, all of them. And I mean, you can't. Somebody threw New York Jets at me, and I'm like, but you can't say most disappointing season because it was all based on Rodgers this year. So when he went down, that kind of like went out
Tanked
the
the whole
window.
season.
Which, if you had a better offensive coordinator, I'm just saying he would have figured out how to use Brees Hall and make that team with an elite defense and an elite run game into something like the Broncos had a few years ago or what the 49ers have. But they don't have that there. They were depending too much on their offensive scheme going on Rodgers. But nonetheless, you get what I'm saying. These teams that disappointed, that were winning, get in, that couldn't do it. We saw, if we're looking at the field, bro, we're looking at Detroit. We got San Francisco, Dallas on the NFC side, the Rams, Philly, Green Bay, Tampa Bay. And then on the AFC side, we got Miami, Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, Houston, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Not in that order of sitting, y'all. Just going based on my notes here. I'm going to give you real quick, bro, before we get into talking and breaking down these games, who I think are on each conference, the one team nobody wants to see in the first round. Let's see if you agree, disagree. For the NFC, I'm saying Rams. Rams are the team right now in the wild card. Nobody wants to play in the wild card. And I don't care what Lions fans say. How they're like, yeah, just I'm sorry, Lions fans. You know what? Y'all act like you've been winners before, man, because y'all are really bashing Stafford out there for no reason. The man busted his ass and broke his ass for you guys, and you guys traded him because you didn't want to pay him what he was going to be worth. And now y'all mad because he
Build
won a Super
around
Bowl.
him.
Yeah, and y'all mad because he won a Super Bowl. Okay, so show the man his respect when he goes this week. I'm seeing these sites posting up, they should ban his jersey at Ford Field this week. I'm like, are you kidding me? Next to Barry Sanders, that's the most popular freaking Lions jersey in history is the Stafford jersey. So, okay, I get it, the storyline, but they could have done this years ago if it was like a planned storyline. But I'm like, y'all really want to act like you don't mind that you're gonna see Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp on the field at the same damn time with that suspect defense you've had this year and secondary that CD Lamb put up 200 yards on? So I don't know, bro. All I'm saying is, damn, I tell you, Lions fans been pissing me off this year. That Rams team is the one in the NFC that I really think nobody wanted to see in the first round. And I'm kind of glad that we're not seeing them, to be honest. As a Cowboys fan, that was the team I was looking at. Like, I know we beat them earlier in the year, but they didn't have Kyron Williams running the football in that game either. So we got to remember that. Remember that. So, but
I'd have to somewhat agree.
for the NFC, who you got? So we've got San Francisco, of course, the 1 seed, and we got Dallas. We've got who is it? Detroit, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, the Rams, and Green Bay.
I'd have to honestly say
It was the team nobody
it's
wants
a
to
tie.
meet in that wild card.
It's a tie between both the Rams and the Packers. I'm sorry to say it.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Tampa for a minute.
The Packers making the playoffs after the up and down season that they had, the up and down season that Jordan Love had.
What did I tell you, though? What did I tell you about that dude, though, before the season, man? I told you.
You're right.
It's going to be good. And you know what? For the first, 4 weeks, bro, I was like, damn, maybe I was wrong about this dude. But, the second half of the season, bro, he really,
started coming to his own. He started really coming into his own. Yeah. And he's looking like he's just ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real.
They don't know if Christian Watson will play, but even if Christian Watson's playing, he's not the one that scares me. You know what? The player I'm worried about is rookie wide receiver Jalen Reed. He's the one that came on late in the season.
And Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, because
Romeo Doubs has been making some catches that you're just like, is he?
I've been high on Doubs since he was his rookie season, man. So it's good to finally see him doing his thing, because Rodgers, let's admit it, Rodgers last year, he would get he'd find his favorite guy, whether it was Watson in there, and that's it. That's who he's going to. And you're seeing Doubs becomes a non-factor. Well, the thing with Jordan Love now, he's building it with everybody right now. He's barely building this thing, so it opens up everything for these receivers. But with Christian Watson down, man, Jalen Reed really came in there and started killing it, bro, as a rookie. His speed, he's the guy that worries me. There's two players on their offense that are going to worry me. And you know what? Since we're getting into this, we might as well just let me put this damn crap up on here, bro, because since we're talking about the game, and then we'll get to the AFC thing, bro. All right. So I think the ones that scare me in this game is Reed in the past game and Aaron Jones. And strictly because of how our run game at times defense tends to disappear. And we know what Aaron Jones can do when he is just having one of those games, bro. We've all seen
it. That's what I'm nervous about.
Yeah. And so I think that's where it's really going to come down to our defense. I like our offense against their defense, whether Jair Alexander's playing or not, because he's not the same Jair that he was a few years ago. I don't even know if he's going to be playing.
And he ain't touching CD. I don't give a damn. He ain't touching CD.
I tell you one thing, man. Their CD is going to be a problem. He is. And I really think for the Packers to have a chance at winning this game, they can. They have the talent.
Yeah, they do.
Don't mistake that, okay? But if you're going to go roster for roster, I mean, Dallas is just the more talented team all the way around with the
on both
veterans, all
sides
the
of the
stuff.
ball. Yep.
But I mean, any given Sunday, bro. And that's why they are the playoffs one and done, man. You don't always have to be the team that's going to win 9 times out of
Mhm.
10 because all it takes is that one loss and it happens to be the one that counted. But I think they're going to have to put up a lot of points, bro, against our defense because I do not think their defense is going to be able to stop Dak. We're at home. You know what I mean? When you hit that
And that's
AT&T crowd,
revenge,
is
though.
you start hearing that. Here we go. Here we go. You know what I'm saying?
And Dak got revenge on his mind.
Yeah.
You know,
And
he's been
that's
taken
one of
out
the that's
in the
one of you know
divisional
you
round.
can always every season you can find storylines within whether it's coaches involved or whatnot. You got the McCarthy thing, but let's be honest, bro. Cowboys fans, we know Rodgers ain't there, okay,
Mhm.
but it's because these last couple recent playoff times that we played them that it don't matter who's there. If we hear the Packers in the playoffs, we're like, damn,
We hope
because
we get
it
y'all.
ain't been so good.
Yeah, so
You
we
know what
can
I
get our
mean?
revenge.
So this
This
is
is a
hey,
revenge
let me
game,
tell you
bro.
something. Last year, Dak Prescott got the Tom Brady monkey off his back in the playoffs.
Yep.
This year, he gets the Packers in the playoffs monkey off of his back. I got the Cowboys winning this game, bro. I think I'm really liking what we saw against Washington. I think it was meant to use it to work up the run game, but they were going that dual threat running back. Man, bro, Rico Dowdle the other day, though, coming off that injury, my boy was running.
Yeah, he was
Pollard is
moving
running
fast.
hard, bro. Pollard's
TP is
getting
looking
involved in the pass game.
stronger,
He is. He's looking like he's finally healthy.
but he's looking stronger.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard's looking like he can run north and south through the gaps now,
Yeah.
not just an outside runner, not just I'm gonna check it down or run a little screen to him. Now he's looking like he can go in between the tackles and run through those gaps with some power and hold on to that football because
Yeah.
he's been getting popped going in running in through those gaps and really going in between the tackles. He's been getting popped and he's been holding on to that football. So that's just showing that he's getting a lot stronger. He's getting a lot
Yeah.
tougher. He's becoming more of a power type of back. You give that speed and power to him with the way Rico came off of the bench or came off that injury, we have a good
Yeah.
chance of really making
Yeah, it's got to be
some
consistent. But
difference.
over the last few weeks, the run game, Pollard has come on,
Yeah.
and I'm liking it. It's because it's just in time. It's just in time, bro. Because I've been telling everybody, if there's one thing that's going to hurt us in the playoffs offensively, it's going to be a lack of a run game because
Yep.
we're not going to be able to run teams out. We're not going to be able to run the clock out on teams. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. I am. Either way, we know the bread and butter is going to be the pass game. They just do not
Mhm.
have enough good cornerbacks to cover Michael Gallup, to cover CeeDee Lamb, to cover Brandon Cooks, to cover Jake Ferguson, to
Fergie.
cover Pollard coming out of the backfield. And you still throw in Turpin in there somewhere and Jalen
And
Tolbert.
Tolbert,
Yeah,
come on
so
now.
I
We
think
have
if
a
this game, bro, I'm going to
lineup.
be honest, if this game was in Green Bay, I'd be worried. I've had these feelings all year sometimes, we all get them where you just like before the Miami game, I just had that bad vibe that morning like, damn, no, I do not feel good about this game.
Yeah.
I feel good about this game, dog. Just like I felt good about the Detroit game, as close as that was. We know if you watch the game on the field, it really shouldn't have been that close, but whatever. But I feel good about this one. I do think, though, if they're going to beat us, they're going to have to turn the ball over. I mean, they're going to have to force us to turn the ball over because you're not stopping Dak Prescott. I mean, even on the drives that we haven't scored this year, bro, it's either because we get on a fourth down in the red zone and we don't convert it, or we get a turnover, like a fumble.
Mhm.
So Dak drives the ball downfield. It's just a matter of us getting the ball in the end zone. I love what we got with Aubrey, so I'm not even worried about the kicking game. I do think though, if they're going to beat us, they'll have to get us to turn the ball over, and it's going to take a lot of Aaron Jones to
Yeah.
beat us, man. But I got Dallas winning,
Combination.
bro. I mean, I could see Dallas winning this game. I don't know. I'm going to say 27-17.
That's crazy. I have a close similar score. I have Dallas winning 28-21.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think we're going to edge it out by a touchdown, maybe 10 points. I think we might get a
Hey, what's
31,
up, A?
21. You know what I mean? We might get a 31-21 game, but I'd say between 28 to 21 and 31 to 21, Dallas wins by 7 to 10 points. I think we get a 7 to 10 point victory, and that gives
Yeah,
us momentum going into the next round because we got to get
yeah,
past
and
this division
I
round.
do think this is a game though that Packers are a good team, y'all. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
Dallas
can't sleep on
cannot
them.
we can't I don't want to fall behind. Like has to be one of those games where that comes down, or if the defense starts the game, we get a stop. You know what I mean? Then our first offensive possession, Dak comes down. We take control early.
Yep.
Get up early, keep control, keep the defense rested and flying all over the field out there. And I think they'll be fine. We are at home where we won 16 in a row. And we're just, bro, let's be honest. The number 2 seed was so important to us because of
Yeah.
this, because we are just a whole other beast at
On the
home.
road. Yeah.
I mean, we blow people out at home. Detroit was the one exception this year. So that's why we needed this, man. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I think Dallas finds a way to get this game on get their team on to the next round. We'll see how that's going to turn out. Now let's go to the AFC. All right, let's go to the AFC. Arlington, I need your outlook on the Texans. If not, I want to say my piece on air. Well, we actually just covered the Texans.
And to be honest, I think that's the scariest team in the AFC.
I don't know.
Hell
I
no.
think no. You know what?
You think
That's why.
anybody
Let's
wants to
get
play
into that.
CJ?
That's what we were about to say. Let's get into the AFC.
You
Okay.
think anybody wants to play
The Browns are the one team. These two teams right here, I'm going to tell you right now. The two teams, I will agree with you with Texans, but I'm on my main team with the AFC that nobody wants to play right now. The other team would be the Browns. That defense, Flacco, what he's doing right now. But I think the winner of this team, of these two teams, excuse me, the winner of this game, I think they're going to find their way past the divisional round, regardless of whoever is in front of them. I think Houston right now is just so balanced, bro. I mean, in terms of
Yeah.
pass to defense, they don't have quite the balance on offense that Cleveland has, which is, they got the pass game going, but that run game that they've got with the two-headed monster there. But I do think their pass game is better than Cleveland right now. Flacco's making plays. He is. He's not costing them the game. All right. So what's he talking about?
the Lions in the Super Bowl?
No.
Please go take a nap.
Nick, no. Lions are not going to the Super Bowl.
Go
You know
take a
why?
nap.
Because if they find a way
to beat themselves, they're going to.
well, let me tell you something though. That means they're gonna have to go through San Francisco.
And I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Or
I don't see
Dallas.
that happening.
I
I
mean,
don't even see
let's
them
be
going to
honest.
that.
People that didn't watch the game don't realize that Cowboys Lions game should have never been that close. It really
If
shouldn't
the
have.
refs would have called the tripping on Aiden Hutchinson and not the tripping call on Hendershot, they would have never even got the ball back, and we would have won the game.
Well,
20
I
to
mean,
13.
you look at some of the plays even before then. During the game. We had the turnover there in the red zone. It
At the
just
beginning.
that's what I talk about. Like when like we can get the ball down. So it shouldn't have been that close. But Lions are not going through Dallas and San Francisco. I just don't see that
I
happening.
don't see that either.
They're too inconsistent on defense. I mean, I'm sorry. We all saw what the Bears did to them recently in their house. So, I'm just saying. But all right. B says we always lose to the Packers. I hope we can win on Sunday. Don't put that out in the universe, B.
I honestly think it's going to be the Texans and the Ravens.
But you know what? So the Texans, you brought up that. So that's your team for the AFC. That is the team that nobody wants to play right now. And I'm saying the Browns. I'm saying the Browns. But I guess the agree to disagree thing would be here to say basically like the winner of this one is the one nobody wants to see in the divisional round. So let's talk about this one, bro. We did talk about the Texans. Okay. We talked about what we liked of what they've done this year. But, bro, let's talk about the Browns a little bit. What are they going on? Their fourth starting quarterback this year. This man was literally, he said, sitting on his mom's couch when he got the call on his phone, watching TV. So when they say, y'all, when you hear the announcer say, a man who was on the couch one day and flying to Cleveland to play the next day, it was literal. Like literally, he was. But that's what veterans do.
Yep.
And he was just brought in. It's almost like a perfect marriage here because they are a running team. They are a defense first team. And his Super Bowl with the Ravens, what were they? They
A
were a running
defensive
team, defensive
running
first
team.
team, and all they needed was a game manager. And he is that good. He's a Super
Yeah.
Bowl winning game manager, y'all, which means he wasn't going to cost you the Super Bowl. And he made the plays when he had to, just like he's doing with Cleveland this year, bro. I mean, this man's throwing for over 300 yards, bro, with Amari Cooper and nobody else. Now, I
Mhm.
say nobody else, but let's be honest, man. My fantasy team, one of my fantasy teams, really appreciates that I won because he decided that, David Njoku was making too much money not to be getting the ball, like when Watson was there. So what is a game manager's best friend, bro? It's their tight end.
Yep.
Njoku, ever since he came in, since Flacco came in, Njoku has taken off.
All
And that's
out.
only elevated Amari Cooper's game because now them safeties are having to drop down a bit because Njoku's so big and physical. He's busting through those smaller DBs, bro.
Yeah. He's been a force. Like all Flacco really has to do is take one or two progressions, and then he's just throwing the ball right to Njoku.
Yeah.
He's taking one or two progressions. Okay, Amari's covered up. Can't get the ball to him. Ain't even going to try to force it in there and try to make him make a play. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's not open. Yeah, I don't even know if he still plays for them. I think he got traded to Detroit, one of the two. But when you go through those two progressions, you see Njoku down the field. And what Flacco's been doing lately is he's just been trusting his arm and trusting Njoku to be the star tight end that he is. Because what this man has done this season has been nothing short of remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kept him alone with the help of Amari Cooper. I have to say those two receivers, let's just say it like that. Amari Cooper and
Pass catchers. Yeah.
those pass catchers have been what has kept that offense for Cleveland alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for those two being able to be that emergency blanket for Joe Flacco, that offense wouldn't have been able to do
And see, and,
anything.
and Joe Flacco, man, he's just a championship experience. He knows
Mhm.
how to use the players that he's got. He knows what to do when the play breaks down. That's why he looks for Njoku right off the bat. He
Yep,
looks for Kareem Hunt, out of the backfield. So he's not going to lose a lot of games for you.
at
Okay.
all. And
So
then you got a defense
that defense,
that can
number
close
one
out
ranked
games.
defense in the entire league, in the entire playoff field, y'all. This defense is no joke.
They're
You know,
legit.
one of the defensive player of the year candidates, Myles Garrett. I think it's him and Parsons right now that are neck and neck, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
There's no
now
other
I
defensive
know where
ends.
you're going with this. I think
There's no other defensive ends in my eyes right
no,
now. Not
no.
even Bosa, not even TJ Watt.
And TJ Watt's
It's
injured anyways,
it's
bro. And
Michael
I'm sorry,
Parsons
that's
and
2 years
Myles
in a
Garrett.
row. What's 2 years in a row injury? As good as you
Yeah,
are, if
Myles
you
Garrett.
can't stay on the field, you're like Sean Lee to me. Yeah, you're great when you're there, but you're never there. You know what I'm saying? And TJ Watt now he ain't gonna
Hmm.
be there for the biggest game of the year.
Oh, it's Cleveland at Texas, not
Yes.
Texans
Yeah.
at
No. Oh,
Cleveland.
did I put it wrong? My
So
bad. My bad.
that's
Yeah, it is.
another
It
thing.
is. Well, and so let's predict this so we can go on to the next one. All right. I think I know who you got, and I was really okay. I'm gonna tell you. I literally flipped this today as I was just thinking about everything. I had the Browns winning this game, but that home thing is big for me, and the way
Yeah,
CJ has just played this year, bro. I mean,
especially at
it's
home.
hard. It's hard not to believe against the dude. Either way, I think this is going to be a very close game. I think it could be an overtime game, or it could be one of those that comes down to that last possession, either a defensive
Mhm.
stand is. It could. I want it. You know what I want it to come down to? 30 seconds left in the red zone. CJ Stroud has the ball down by 5 points, and you got Myles Garrett staring at him. And that's what I want to see as a football fan, bro, because those moments like that, All right, Rook, let's see what you got. And Myles Garrett,
Mhm.
let's see you go and make a case for Defensive Player of the Year. So I see it could come to something like that, but I did switch. I got the Texans winning at home in a very, very close game. I think it could be a lot more scoring than people think. People have been able to score in Houston at times. I mean, excuse me, on Cleveland at times. I'm gonna probably trip out on this score, but I could see like a field goal 31-28 Houston in a high scoring game.
I got Houston 38-35.
Now we're with two teams like this with defense, it would have to be a lot of turnovers because you're putting offenses in the short field, which is why I think with two good defenses, it could still be so high scoring. Because if you've got that short field,
Exactly. That's
you know
why I
what I
say
mean?
38-35. Houston wins. I think it comes down to, like you said, CJ Stroud's arm, his ability, and Myles Garrett on the defensive side. I
Yeah.
think it literally comes down to those two players, and I think CJ has the best chance to get the better of that situation.
Now it will not surprise me to see Joe Flacco and that Browns defense go into Houston and still a close game. I mean, it wouldn't
It
surprise
wouldn't
me.
surprise me
It
either.
won't surprise me at all. I'll be like, damn. But as long as it was a hell of a game, which I think we all expect it to be a hell of a game, I think we're in for a good one, man. I think we're in for a good one to start the crazy Super Wildcard weekend. Now, let's move on to the second game on Saturday. Now, this I know I typed in correct. All right. You and A, both of you trying to call me out. And I know the Texans are at home. I typed it in wrong.
The, the Dolphins are at home too.
No, don't tell me that, man. All right. Hey, bro, it's going to be 0 degrees on the field for this game. That is Kansas City Chiefs weather, if I have ever heard of it. I really want to pick the Dolphins in this game because I look at the weapons they have. I know they can still run the ball, so if it's cold weather. But, bro, cold
After
weather.
what happened in Germany,
Well, cold weather, Arrowhead. You got Pacheco running like a beast, healthy again, and you have the Chiefs, one of the top 5 defenses in football. I like the Chiefs at home.
and
And
Sky Moore's
I gotta
actually
be
catching
honest,
it
bro.
all.
I think that the Chiefs could win this by like 10 points, man. That defense is good enough in that cold weather to really take away the pass game. Because I don't care how fast Cheetah is. Anybody, if you've ever played any football, you know cold weather. It's not just a thing to say that it affects games. It really does affect players,
It does.
especially when you depend on speed a lot. So
But
I like both run games, but man, Chiefs. Well, what was it? Was it J-Ron Curse or one of the Cowboys players that posted up about Isaiah Pacheco saying that he runs like he bite people? I think it was J. Lou. It was Lewis that said that, man. Jordan Lewis. He
yeah,
posted up on
man.
Twitter. He said, man, he said Isaiah Pacheco run like he bite people, man. I was like, damn. But
But
that's calling him a dog. He's a
I
dog.
think Mostert and A Chain will have a big game for Miami.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to. I
Tua
think they're gonna have to.
is going to be limited to what he's able to do on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as getting the ball downfield, we're talking dead winter Kansas City weather.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's not going to be no walk in the park, Florida,
Well,
mid January in
and that's
Florida.
that's another one I forgot to leave out. Like Mr. defending Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes, for all the ups and downs that team has had this year, he knows how to play in that weather. He's played
Yeah.
big in that weather.
And for him to still get a home game,
damn, man, we ain't in freaking Florida no more. Tua's gonna be like, damn, y'all playing this shit? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna go home. We'll lose this game, and I'm going back to Florida, and I'm gonna chill. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, man. So, what do you say? What do you think, man? What do you think? I got the Chiefs by 10. I don't know, 23-13.
I got the Dolphins with an upset.
Okay.
And
I would think though it would be a
be
low scoring game. I
I think
think
it's going to be 13-10.
okay. And see, I can see that. And that kind of weather, bro. That's why I'm happy. I'm sitting my ass on the couch with the heater on. drinking a beer, watching that damn game. Actually, no, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
working. To be honest, I'm
I'm
working
gonna
all damn
definitely be
day.
watching this
But
game.
that will be on the Peacock app, y'all. So if you ain't got it, find somebody who has it, or find one of the streaming sites, man. You can, I think Peacock's like $7 or something like that. Watch it on there.
And if
All
you
right.
have the Roku TV, you can get Peacock right now for
Yeah.
like $2.99.
Yeah. All right, bro. So we keep on in the AFC. Steelers at Bills. I know the
He
Steelers.
said Pachenko does run like he bites people. He does.
He does, bro. And you know what? Somebody asked, what does he mean? And I'm like, that means he's a dog. That's what
Yeah,
Jordan Lewis is basically calling him a dog. He's saying this dude, and if y'all know, I mean, come on, we all know slang sports. That's a compliment. Just to call a player a dog. That means
he's a
he's out
dog.
there fighting. He's out there
Mhm.
fighting, man. They're fighting to the end. So JP says Chiefs haven't been good this season, but they're better in cold than Miami. Yeah. And I think that's gonna, for me, my prediction, that I think that's what ultimately
Is gonna help.
swayed my decision on who I was picking, man. But all
But
right, man. So
think A Chain and Mostert are gonna have something to say about that cold weather.
you know what?
Like, hey, we can run
Real.
in
I
this
think
cold
I
weather.
think if there's somebody that could step up for Mahomes and his receiving group, I know Rashee Rice is kind of elevated his game, like I told y'all he would. But how used to are these guys used to playing in this kind of weather? Rashee Rice is a rookie. We could see McCole Hardman. He's been there. Have a game. I don't know. I'm just saying, who knows? Just putting it out
Travis
there.
Kelce gonna be the number one target.
Yeah. Oh, obviously.
And if they shut down Kelce, then it's depending on if Tony, Moore, Rice,
I ain't
and
throwing
the
the ball
rest
to
of the
Tony if
crew
the game's on the line. I'm telling you
can
that much.
can hang on to the ball.
If the game's on the line and I see freaking Kadarius Tony wide open, or I see Rashee Rice in triple coverage, I'm throwing the damn ball to Rice.
Rice,
Get up there and get the damn
I'm
ball.
throwing the triple coverage. I don't really care how wide open you are,
Yeah,
Kadarius Tony, because you've shown us that you
You're
could
gonna
be
cost
wide
us the damn
open.
game. Yeah.
You could be wide the hell open and drop the ball. You could be right there on the line of scrimmage, offsides, and cost us the game. I'm not putting my faith in Kadarius Tony if I'm Patrick
Me
Mahomes.
neither.
I'm not. So I'd have to say Miami, 13-10 win. They get the upset, and it's going to be off of the backs of Devon A-Chain and Mostert. That's
Mostert, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna have to be. But they do have the running backs to do it, to keep it
they
close.
just
I just
two-headed
don't know. I
monster,
just don't know.
power
My
and
I
speed.
think the big issue is gonna be that their defense, the Dolphins defense against Mahomes. Mahomes so
True,
used to
because you
that
got
weather. Dolphins
Phillips
defense
is
ain't
out,
used to that weather. So
but
it's gonna be
Phillips is
interesting,
out.
man. Because I
Bradley
do
Chubb
trust.
is
I mean,
out.
I expect Kansas City's defense to show up. I do. I expect
But
them to
I
give them
didn't
a
even
game.
think about it. Bradley Chubb's out.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for
Phillips
the
is
year.
out. I think what's his name? Ramsey might be out.
I think Ramsey's playing, but yeah.
Well, he's questionable as of right now.
Yeah, either way,
He's questionable.
I just when you look at the two defenses,
It's going to
that
come down
weather,
to drop passes. It's going to come down to drop passes.
It could. Miami is the 10th ranked defense overall. Kansas City is the number 2 ranked defense overall. So that just they're in Arrowhead. So we'll see, man. But let's go out to the one we were going to get to, the Steelers at the Bills. I don't see any way the Steelers win this game. I just don't. No.
I mean, Rudolph, he been the red-nosed quarterback for them. He's been doing really well for them.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to convince me because it's not happening. Okay.
You give Tomlin a chance. You give.
Oh, I know. I see that that's the only chance I give that damn team right now, bro. The way they've been this year.
But now
Mike
having
Tomlin,
TJ Watt,
Mike Tomlin, yeah, that's big.
hard
That's
on
big.
that
Especially the way Josh Allen loves to run around the pocket. You needed TJ Watt there because of TJ Watt's explosiveness, his speed, his ability to close in on the ball, even though he gets unblocked half the time.
Just his ability to get in the backfield, no matter how many people are on him. TJ
Yeah,
Watt can have
and,
two,
and
three
let's
people
be honest, bro. I
watching him.
really think that's going to be the difference because I do think that
Yep.
Josh Allen's going to be the difference, and Watt's just not going to be there to pressure him into all those bad throws that he likes to have, to strip sacks. It's just not going to be there from him. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. I think the Bills are playing so good right now, bro. They really
No,
are. They're playing some good
it's
ball right
going to
now.
come down the next man up for the Steelers. Let's be real. It's going to come down the next man up on that defensive line.
I will tell you one thing, though. Bills, Buffalo Bills, listen to me. It's the playoffs now, okay? So if you don't start throwing the ball to your best weapon on offense, Stephon Diggs, you're going to be one and done. Because if Tomlin says they're not going to throw him the ball, so guess what I'm going to do now? We're going to bring up some more pressure on defense. We're going to let our DB sit back there in manner and zone. You know what I mean? So I don't know what it is with the Bills this year, bro, that they just decided, you know what? I know how good he is, but we're just not going to throw him the ball.
Right.
That's
We
why
may
it
pay
took
them
y'all
all this
getting to the
money
damn last game to get into the playoffs in the first place.
because you didn't utilize your best weapon.
Yeah.
You thought Josh Allen was your best weapon, and he's not.
Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, all he needs is the ball. Get him the ball, he's going to make things happen.
Yep.
With you not getting him the ball, look at what this team has struggled through.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball. Because when you got a guy like Stephon Diggs who could sit here and run a 5-yard slant, then run another 5-yard curl route, now you don't use 2 plays in about a good 30 to 45 seconds to use up the time and then get a first down and march down the field. And you just keep doing that. Then you keep doing that and you keep doing that. And now you're looking at running down the clock, keeping your defense on the sideline and rested. And then when your defense gets back on that field, they have a better chance of getting the turnover, a scoop and score, a pick six. You know what I mean? Anything to get your offense back on the field or to get a score on the board for your team as a whole. So if you're not utilizing your best weapon who can be deadly on 3 different levels at the wide receiver position and even running a end around, you know what I mean? Some type of reverse. Stephon is your best bet. And if you don't want to utilize him, a guy like Mike Tomlin, he's gonna
make you pay. He'll make you pay. He will. He will. I've told you. You since we met, I've told you that Mike Tomlin is one of my top 2 favorite coaches
of
in
all
the
time.
NFL. Man, I just love the way this dude coaches, and he will. He will. He'll make you pay if he figures out. You know what? They're just not even going to look his way. They're using him as a decoy like they've been doing all damn season. Fine. Now let me bring up some pressure. You know what I mean? So I think I do see the Bills winning this game though. They're at home and they're rolling right now.
It would take a miracle for Pittsburgh to come out with a win.
Yeah.
It would take a miracle. I'm sorry to say it like that.
I'm going to be honest. I could see this being like the first blowout of the weekend.
You think it'll be a blowout?
I think it could be. I think we could be looking at like a 30-10 game.
Even with the momentum that the Pittsburgh Steelers got coming off of the I know honest, Baltimore didn't start none of their starters.
That Bills defense likes to this latter half of the season, man, they're all over the place.
But Pittsburgh has a lot of momentum coming off a win.
Yeah, but then they've got a third string quarterback playing too, bro.
But their third string quarterback has got a 2-1 record right now.
Yeah, against who? Baltimore's B team.
Baltimore's B team, and okay. I mean, I get what you're saying,
but I do feel like you're saying you believe the Steelers will lose. But what do you think? What's your score like?
I don't think it's gonna be too much of a blowout. I just think I say the most I think Buffalo win by is probably 10-13 points.
Okay.
10-13. I give them that 10-13 cushion because I'm not gonna count out Mike Tomlin. I'm not gonna count out that head coach over there. I think he's a better head coach than what Sean McDermott is.
I can, but I still trip out when I see like Steelers fans comments like, "Oh, get rid of him. Why hasn't he won another Super Bowl?" I'm like, damn, the dude won Super Bowls for you, and then he's never had a losing season. And
and
y'all are like, get this man out of town.
17
I'm like, come to
seasons.
Dallas. You can have McCarthy. We'll do an even trade.
Right.
I like
Because I
McCarthy.
guarantee
Hey,
you,
McCarthy, I
if Mike
believe in you,
Tomlin
McCarthy.
comes
McCarthy,
to Dallas,
McCarthy, I believe in you. I just want to make it clear. Okay.
if Mike Tomlin comes to Dallas, that's Super Bowls. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's Super Bowls. That's
All
Super Bowls.
right. So
But
we both got the Bills winning that ball
Bills,
game.
I say
All right.
the Bills win 23-10 at the most. 23-10
Okay.
or 23-13.
I got 30-10, but okay. All right. Now we
Oh,
covered
you
the
giving them
Rams.
a 20-point win?
Yeah, I told you blowout. I'm thinking 30-10, man. I think
I
there
mean, there is no TJ Watt.
I don't think without TJ Watt, that defense. See, you know what's gonna happen, bro? Is Mike Tomlin is gonna do like you're saying, he's gonna put his rookie Porter on Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
Porter, as good as he's been, he's a rookie. Diggs is a veteran. He's fast. He knows how to get in the heads of guys like these. If the Bills choose to start throwing him the damn ball, stop using him as a decoy. It's playoff time, which means this is the time where you use all the best weapons in your arsenal, and he is the best weapon in your arsenal. So open it up, man. And I think he could. I think he could have a big game against the rookie, bro. As good as Porter. Porter will make his plays if they throw the ball, but I think overall, let's say they give him 7 targets.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him getting 5 catches. If you go 8 targets, I could see him getting 6. So that's the way I see it, man. But should be a good matchup, though, those two. Speaking of Diggs and Porter, it's going to be a good matchup to watch, man. Definitely. Now, we did cover the Packers and Cowboys earlier. So now we go to Sunday Night Football. And then we'll get to the Eagles and Bucks, and then we'll get to the chat and see what everybody's thinking about these games. Rams at Lions, the team that I said in the NFC nobody wants to play right now. And I'm so happy because Lions fans, like I've been saying, y'all been pissing me off. Okay. I need some Lions fan. And if you know football, come on the show. Let's debate. Let's do it. But I don't think y'all are going to want to after this week because I think the Rams win this game.
I do too.
I think, bro, I'm sorry. That secondary that's been so suspect. Who are they going to double? Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua? Fine, double both of them. Guess what? Kyron Williams going to run right down your freaking throat, man. I mean.
And they got a tight end.
Matthew Stafford, he's so comfortable on that field, bro. Matthew Stafford's coming in like, oh, I'm comfortable in here. Let's go. Yep. Let's go.
He's like, I played here for how many years?
Yeah. And
let me tell you something,
bro. See, everybody's talking about the Stafford thing being the big thing. You know what the Lions need to be concerned about right now is that when Jared Goff is under pressure, he turns in to Josh Allen, and not the good Josh Allen. He turns into the turnover Josh Allen. That's how Dallas got to him. You put some pressure on Jared Goff, he's going to turn the ball over. Aaron Donald is coming. Aaron Donald is coming this week. He's going to force a couple of bad throws. Hell, Aaron Donald loves to make people fumble the damn ball. So they're going to have that as good as that offensive line. Now, I think they're overhyped. The offensive line the first half of the season was top 5 for the Lions. As the season came on later, though, bro, they've been getting beat. They've been giving up sacks. They've been giving up pressures. And Aaron Donald brings it better than or as good as anybody in the game. Better than anybody from the interior position. I'll tell you that much right now. So there could be a problem there, bro. And that secondary has still that no-name defense for the Rams that we all clowned at the beginning of the season. Well, they have played surprisingly well, y'all, that they are just under middle of the pack in overall defense this year. And I think that it's going to be the turnovers that makes the difference, but I do see a high-scoring affair here. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think we could have both teams up in the 30s, close game. I got the Rams winning this one 38-35.
Now, going back to what you said about Matt Stafford, for one, he's been playing very well under pressure. That San Francisco game, both times this season, he's had a lot of pressure. And he's been able to make a lot of passes that he's done over his career hundreds of times. But from what he's done this year, playing through injury, having a bad, horrible season last season, injury plagued as well. I just feel the chemistry that him and Cooper Cup has, the chemistry that him and Puka Nakua has.
Puka
And
Nakua
Puka
this year,
Nakua
bro.
is
Damn.
just
Damn.
man.
I,
He
and,
has he
I
like you
mean,
said
hey,
earlier,
is
he
it
has the best argument
yeah, against CJ
against
Stroud.
CJ Stroud for
Now, it wouldn't, let's be
rookie of the
honest,
year.
it would not surprise me to see them go offensive players of the year
It wouldn't
because he
surprise me.
literally broke a rookie record this year, man.
Yeah.
Like for yards by a rookie, like it's insane.
Catches by a rookie.
Considering that he was a wide receiver too, to be able to break that record, you know what I mean? When you got Cooper Cup on the other side, which we all know it's not one of those situations with Cup where they just don't throw him the ball because he's getting doubled. No, he gets open. So he
Mhm.
gets his. For Puka Nakua to do what he did this year, bro, is just so impressive. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no,
Keep
you're
going.
good.
Keep going.
What Puka Nakua has done, just to touch more on that, to lead rookies and set a season record for the most receptions by a rookie, the most reception yards by a rookie. Come on now.
We think about some of the rookies that have come out. Justin Jefferson, just recently. You know, Jamar Chase. You go back to
And he
Randy Moss, who
surpassed
had Randy
their
Moss's
record.
massive rookie year.
He
Like,
surpassed both. He surpassed it in both categories.
yeah.
So yes, he has the biggest argument, if not the only argument, for offensive rookie of
Oh,
the year
absolutely.
next to
Absolutely.
CJ Stroud. And when you put that on that field against a suspect Detroit Lions secondary, and you give Matt Stafford, who's let's face it, in 2 games against the San Francisco 49ers, which is right now the best team in all of football. I mean, you can't doubt Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
You can't doubt him.
You can't.
And like you
We
said,
saw
he is
how
one of the
that team
scariest.
flipped the switch when he came back this year. When
Exactly. And
he came back,
he's led
yeah.
one of the scariest teams to the playoffs because
People say what they
nobody
want
thought that
last
they
year,
were going to
man, but he
be
was
there.
injured last year. He was injured last year. So I see
Exactly.
people putting up like these Lions fans, bro, trying to put up stats. They're saying since the trade, and it's showing Goff and Stafford stats neck and neck. And I'm like, y'all are forgetting like
You know
that
what? You're right,
he's got like
JP.
7 less games played in that time than Goff. Plus, they left out the stat of playoff record. Oh, because Goff hasn't been there yet with the Lions till now. Oh, they forgot about Super Bowl wins, 1-0 since the trade. So this dude's coming in. He's comfortable. He's
And I
comfortable.
apologize, JP. You're right. I meant to say the 49ers are the best team in the
Yeah.
NFC.
I was gonna correct you
In the
on that.
NFC.
But I'm like, well,
Because the
maybe it's just
Ravens
a
did
matter of
whoop that
opinion.
ass.
I don't know. Maybe it's
The
just a matter.
Ravens did whoop that
Maybe,
ass and show that
yeah.
they are the best team in the NFL.
But I'm
Sorry
gonna tell
about
you
that.
one thing,
In the
man. The Ravens.
NFC,
Hey,
the
if there's one
49ers are
team,
the
the
best team.
Ravens right now are rooting for the Texans, bro, because they
Mhm.
don't want us. They don't want to see
They don't wanna
Cleveland,
see the
their
Cleveland Browns.
division rival, with that defense. They
They
know
don't
what
wanna see 'em
Cleveland. They know they split this year. They don't want to see Cleveland. They don't
at
want to
all.
see Houston either. But they're looking at Cleveland like, no, no, no. No,
We
we
have a
don't want
better
them. We're
chance
good.
against Houston than we
Yeah,
do against
exactly,
Cleveland. We have a
exactly.
better
So
chance against Will Anderson Jr. than we do against Miles Garrett. You know what I mean? So Baltimore knows what they want. They want the Texans.
So what do you got, man? You got the Rams winning this game.
I got the Rams winning this game. I got the Rams upsetting the Detroit Lions and ending the Detroit Lions season in the wild card round. I actually have the Rams winning by double digits. I got
Yeah.
them winning by at least 20. I say it's going to be about a
Damn.
good
With that Lions offense, yeah.
I say
Oh, but you know what? There's
34
no Laporta, right?
14.
Laporta's
Exactly.
out.
Laporta's
Oh,
out. 34
they're gonna
14.
have to lean on that run game. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: if Stafford has his way, Goff's gonna have to pass. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to, and that's when Aaron Donald's gonna start creating them turnovers because Goff, like I told y'all, he panics under pressure. He turns the
Yep.
ball over. So, all right. Well, we agree on that one. Now let's go to the final wild card game of the week. Yeah. Eagles fans, Y'all like, huh, we're in the playoffs? I know. It's a shocker with the freaking crap that your team has been fielding the second half of the season, isn't it?
One
And
in
now
five
you
in
don't
the
even know.
last
I don't
six
even know if
games.
AJ Brown didn't practice. See, I don't even know if he's
He
going to
may
play.
not
You
even
don't know if
play.
Devontae Smith might not be there. You may be without your top 2 wide receivers. Okay, Jalen Hurts he was hurt last week. Like, damn.
Yeah, he messed up his finger, something crazy. Like
Yeah.
his,
Did you
oh
see
my
that?
goodness, his
Yeah,
finger was all
man.
the you could
And
tell it was broken. He's just like, it's
yeah,
nothing, whatever.
I don't know, man. All I know is this game right here, bro. Baker Mayfield. I mean, I thought, okay, and I think this was the plan, to be honest. I said this at the beginning of the season. Baker Mayfield is being brought here, beginning of the season. I said this to be a placeholder for a year or two. They probably don't make the playoffs. They have a bad year. They get a high draft pick. They go after what should be a very quarterback heavy draft this year. But then Baker did something that I don't even think the Tampa the general manager expected. He started winning ball games, dog. The dude said, "Oh, I got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Oh, it's on. It is on." And then he said, "You know what we're
Mhm.
gonna do too?" He said, "All right, Rachaad White, you're not running the ball well, so we're gonna make you a pass catching back too." That opened up everything else. The only issue I've had with Baker this year, and it's not just him, it's the offense as a whole, has been inconsistency. There have been
Yeah,
games where they just don't show up, and then the next game they're putting up freaking 30 some points. So they're going to have to score a lot of points in this game. And I think they can, because I think we both know that Philadelphia defense, just like me and you called it at the beginning of the season with all the players they lost, and we said y'all paying that secondary without those safeties and that pass rush to help that secondary, you're going to see it. They're
mhm,
overrated. Well, they're not overrated no more because they've been exposed now by now. Everybody knows that defense is not as good as the media wanted to tell us they were going to be this year. And we kept
exactly.
saying, no, they won't. Media was like, yes, they will. Okay. So that Eagles defense, bro, I mean, I'm sorry. If I'm taking Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both going one-on-one with Bradbury and Slay, I'm taking Evans and Godwin all day, especially Godwin over Bradbury, bro.
Especially Evans over Slay. Mike
Yeah.
Evans has how many seasons straight with over 1,000 yards, and he's mossing
Future
guys.
Hall of Famer,
Come
future
on
Hall of
now,
Famer, future
we
Hall
will
of Famer.
moss you. All,
Yeah. And
all
see,
those
people,
quarterbacks have to do
I
is
think
the
it's
ball
funny
up.
when I see people say, well, he doesn't get open. And some people don't understand the concept, bro, of that there is actual terms for a possession receiver and a speed receiver. And then you've got like the guys who can just do it all. Guys like CD Lamb and them can get open, but they can also get the contested. Mike Evans is the elite version of a possession receiver. Because
Yes.
if he's one-on-one, look at what Brady would do. If Brady saw that one-on-one, he's changing that hot route, bro. And he's saying, I'm going to you to the end zone. You go up and get the damn ball. Because that's what
Yep.
Mike Evans does. It doesn't matter what cornerback is on him. He's like, throw me the damn ball. I'm gonna get over this guy. He will get over Slay. I could see him having some shots downfield, but if I'm the Eagles, bro, I'm being honest. I'm worried about that Godwin and Bradbury matchup.
Oh yeah, I am too. I'm
I
not
am.
gonna lie. If I was the if I was the Eagles player, I'd definitely be worried about that. But you clowned me earlier this season when I said, don't be surprised if Baker Mayfield has a good season and does very well and gets the Bucks to the playoffs. And you're like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
you're like, I don't see the playoffs. He can have
Yeah.
a
No,
season.
I
I don't
didn't,
see the
bro. And
playoffs.
I didn't.
And I
I
told
did
you,
not see him having a big
with
year
the
this year.
NFC South the way it is, the Bucks had a chance to win the
And
division.
I don't give a damn. I know the whole thing with DeMar Hamlin, but I'm sorry. He was on the field for 2 plays this year, and I'm so thankful that he's alive and he came back. But comeback player of the year should be Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Because just like Geno got it last year. Why? Because it doesn't necessarily mean you got to come back from an injury. Geno won it because he was just not a great quarterback. And then when given the chance, he turned it up a notch and he was a great quarterback.
yeah,
Baker Mayfield is this year's Geno Smith of last year, bro, to be
yeah.
honest. and he
Comeback
deserves it.
player of the year.
I think he deserves. And unfortunately, they're going to give it to Hamlin because of the politics part of it and to look good for the marketing. But
Even though his name was not called one
yeah,
time in
yeah.
no game. In no game this
They put
season
him on the
that he
field for
played in.
2 plays just so he can qualify for this damn award.
Yep.
All right.
And he don't
Baker
deserve it.
Mayfield, Baker Mayfield, I was wrong about you this year. Happy to say that, and you deserve that award, dog. You really do. He won't get it most likely, but I think he does deserve it, man. He really does.
And like JP said, I agree. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, he came into last season back up to Matthew Stafford after getting shipped from Cleveland, then to Carolina, then getting kicked out of Carolina and shipped to Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and comes in 48 hours after getting to LA and winning a game for the Rams, barely even knowing the playbook. That showed me that he still
Remember
has
that?
a high
Yeah.
IQ.
That's right. That was a primetime game, too.
Still has a high IQ. You remember he was headbutting the guy's bare head with helmets on. He's just headbutting guys. That's when I knew Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield was not only crazy, but he had enough in
I
him
don't know if that's the
to
smartest
go
thing to
to
do,
another
though, but
team
yeah.
and say, you know what, I
Well,
could be
and
the
that's what
starting
I'm
quarterback
saying, bro.
here.
Like, everybody
Give
was
me a
talking
chance.
about Tampa, even their fans, as this being like, okay, we had our Super Bowl, we had Brady. This is just going to be a rebuilding year. You know, it was to the point that they were even talking about trading Evans so that to a
Mm-hmm.
contender, Dallas was in there, you know, so that they can get some draft to build off of. And they stuck with it,
And,
man. And, you
and
know,
Baker said,
Baker went in with that
you don't need
mentality,
to do
bro.
that.
Yeah, Baker went in with that mentality. Like, I remember him talking about it before the season. He's like, no, I'm here to win. Like, we got ballers here.
Exactly.
Like, we're going to do something. And, you know, the defense, I think, has been the biggest
Surprise.
change. Yeah, this year, the second half of the season, the defense has really, really turned it up. If you look at
Especially that
the
secondary.
overall rankings, man, it's yes, the secondary. They're ranked 23 overall, man. But I mean, to that first
They
half of
don't
the
play like
season,
it.
yeah, the first half of the season they were bad. But they turned it up. That secondary, like you mentioned, they've been a big factor in what the team finally getting to, you know, getting back to the playoffs. Obviously,
Yeah.
they were there last year, but I mean, I should say getting to the playoffs when I don't even know if their upper office expected it, if I'm being honest. You
A
know,
lot of people
but
had the Saints winning this division, and I
I
kept
did.
saying,
I think a lot of people, most people did. I mean, come on, bro. The Saints, they're getting Derek Carr. We both felt that this offense was going to go off this year,
yeah, we did.
but
We both did.
they were like
Even with
Tampa. They were like
Kamara
Tampa. They were
moving,
off and on. They were off and on.
even
You
with the
know,
Kamara 4-game suspension, we still both felt like, hey,
yeah,
that's not going to be that big of a hiccup for them. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But the way the way Tampa Bay has been balling this year, the Bucks have just been something different in that NFC South division, especially when it came to playing NFC South teams.
yeah,
And I got to give it to them, and I think they actually get the upset this week at
yeah.
home.
I think
At
they win
home,
at home. I think Eagles just don't know what's going on. They're a lost team right now. I mean,
yeah,
to the point that their fans are already. This is how why Eagles fans are so freaking. You're horrible human beings. Not all of you, but some of you. All right. Unless I know you and we known each other for a while, you're cool. But I'm good with you. But bro, Nick Sirianni, dog, is 1 year removed from a Super Bowl appearance. And there's fans already calling for his job. I've been seeing it on the comment threads. Like, are y'all serious? You went to a Super Bowl last year. Yes, I get it this year. But y'all forget you were 10-1 at one point. And I'm like, why the hell am I defending the damn Eagles right now? You know what I mean? To their own fans. But it's like, damn, like y'all just flip a switch like that.
just
You know what
like
I mean?
that.
And it's crazy. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the Bucks win this game. They're at home. If it was in Philly, I may be like, okay, maybe you got cold weather. But they're playing this in Tampa, man. And I think watch out for Rashad White having a big game catching balls out of the backfield in this one.
Yeah,
Because that
Rashard
could be a
White
big weapon right there.
and Godwin, like you said, I think Chris Godwin and Rashard White's going to be huge. I think more of a decoy is going to be Mike Evans' role. I
Yeah.
think Mike Evans
They'll
going to be
take
that
their
decoy.
shots to him though. When they get him in single coverage, they'll take their
Mhm.
shots. But I don't think the Eagles will. I don't know if they trust Slay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't. If I'm
I wouldn't
defensive
either.
coordinator, I'm like,
I'm
Darius
putting
Slay's
that
like,
safety
let me get him coach 1-on-1. That's cool. Now we're gonna give you some help though. We're trying to win a we're trying to win a ball game.
We're
All
trying
right.
to go
I'm not
forward
trying to let
into
you
the
earn my
playoffs.
trust in this damn game because this ain't the middle of the season. This is win or go home. So
Exactly.
I think the Bucks win this game 20-10.
I have the same score. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game, only because you got to remember the Bucks only won or only lost by 14 in their regular season meeting,
And I think they're
and
playing
was only
better.
25-11.
And I also think that Godwin's like since that game, the chemistry between Godwin and Baker, man, those last like 4 games was like, damn. Like now he's got both guys locked in.
Yeah.
His wide receiver 1 and 2.
For the Eagles to play against a Giants team who barely even has a wide receiver 1, and your secondary gets torched by a team that doesn't have a wide receiver 1, it's gonna be a hard.
They got spanked, bro. That was a thing of beauty.
It was
such a beautiful game.
Thank you for giving us.
You know what's so cool, bro,
time.
right now is that the Eagles, I was telling JP this today. The Eagles are in the playoffs. But you wouldn't know it. You know why? Because their fans they're not online.
I don't see none of this
chirping online. Yeah, they were chirping at this time last year with that number 1 seed in the off week. They're chirping. Oh, all y'all, don't matter who it is. We'll be waiting for you. Okay. They're quiet now. But why? We have the New York Giants to thank for that. Thank you very much, JP, to your squad, because we haven't had to hear them chirping. Instead, I allowed Lions fans to do that. Got on my damn nerves too. So, yeah, we got the Bucks.
That was the most beautiful game I watched this season.
Bro, I think to be honest, like
to agree.
If I felt like if you tell me, okay, the Giants are winning this game, I'm like, it's gonna be a close game, like that Giants kind of game where it's low scoring, defense, run the ball. And then I'm watching these games and I'm keeping up with their score, and I'm like, what the? It was actually in the chat. I think it was Angel that went in there. Angel, he went in there and said, you guys see what the hell's going on with the Giants and Eagles right now? And I'm like,
and that made me focus more on the game.
Yeah, I looked and I was like, oh my God.
Like, holy hell. Are they really getting stomped by the G-Men?
I was telling JP today, we were laughing because I said it was like all those years of taking a beat down to the Eagles these last few seasons, that they let it all out. They will kick them while they're down and walk away, run back, throw another 2 kicks in there, walk away, run back, throw another couple kicks.
And Saquon had a hell of a game.
Yeah, he did. Oh, he's trying to get that contract. He's like, pay me. But you played yourself, Saquon. No, they can tag you for 2 years now, dog. Just saying.
But one thing I do respect that he said, if you're going to tag me, do it now.
Yeah.
Don't wait till March.
Don't make me wait. Yeah. Don't make me think that we're going to negotiate when the whole time you don't plan on agreeing to a deal.
If you're going to tag me, just tag me.
But if you ask me, you know what? This guy's got a couple of years left of his prime. Okay. Just sign him. Give him a contract. He's carried your team these last 2 years. Or let him go. Yeah. Yeah.
Let him go. Let him go.
Giants fans don't want him gone, though. I mean, he is the Giants right now. Of that offense, anyways. He is the identity he's the face of that team. It's not Daniel Jones. Okay, he is the face of the team. And if you let him walk, you'll piss off your fans. Because now you got to go out and find. Now you don't only have a wide receiver 1. Now you don't have a running back 1 either.
You let him walk.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing the Washington Red Commander Skins do better, or whatever their new name's going to be next season, because they're getting a new name. So you'll be seeing Washington be better than the Giants in the NFC East, and Washington will no longer be the bummy team in the division if you guys let Saquon Barkley just walk away, or you release him, or you don't want to sign him.
Hell, I love Pollard, but we'll trade y'all Pollard in like a 3rd-round pick for Saquon.
And we'll take it all day. And then you got Saquon, Rico Dowdle, and Deuce.
Bro, you'd have Giants fans burning their Saquon jerseys on YouTube, bro.
Yep. But it'd be your ownership's fault.
Yeah, they got to keep him around, man. And you know what? Fans will agree with us. They'll tell you, we need to sign this dude, man. Don't sit
Hmm.
here and waste his last 2 years, 2 years of his prime. Just he'll play better if he's comfortable with a contract. Not if he's got to
Exactly.
think, man, I got to do everything I can, risk injury or something, maybe because I might not have a contract after this year, which would be
Exactly.
the case if he gets tagged again. But that's neither
Beatrice.
here nor there.
Basically, what the
Franchise
franchise
tag.
tag is a team gets to offer a player
When your contract is up.
a minimum amount of money.
Yeah. And it's usually a good chunk depending on the position for the
Like
year.
for running back, they'll be looking at maybe between $10 to $13 million for one season, and they can't do anything basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, like if you played for me and I had you on a 3-year contract and I've never franchise tagged you before, like I drafted you and for 3 years, your last year, you're like, okay, our season's over. My contract's going to end soon, in 2 weeks or whatnot. Just an example. So we need to get a new contract. And we're like, well, we're not going to do that right now. We can turn around and tell you we're putting something called the franchise tag on you, which means we're going to pay you 10 million and your only other choice is not to play because you're
Mhm.
not going to be able to go to another team. And the following year, we can do it again. So they can do 2 tags. Basically, it's something that teams use when they don't feel they're going to get to a new contract extension done in time. So they don't lose the player. But
Or it,
sometimes it works
they have
against the player.
they have two players that they have to decide who to pay and
Yeah.
who to tag.
Yeah, and who to tag. Like Dallas, you're going to see Dallas use the tag on somebody this year and this
Mhm.
offseason. Maybe 2. I think what 2 teams get 2, right? Two players they can
Yes,
franchise tag in an offseason. So you're going to see them do it. That's why Tony Pollard is playing this year. His contract ended at the end of the 2022 season, but Dallas put their first franchise tag that they can use on him, so he was obligated to play this year or not play. He chose to play. A lot of guys, the smart guys like Pollard will, because they're saying, I want to go out and earn this big contract. And that some teams use the franchise tag as basically saying, okay, you got 1 year to prove it that you deserve a big contract.
exactly.
So that's what they were trying to do with Pollard this year. But so I hope that explains it. If not,
Basically,
yeah.
they can put a certain amount of money on a player for 1 year
And you can't
where
go anywhere else.
they don't have to offer you a contract extension, 3
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
$200 million or some crazy number. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to. You weren't able to come to an agreement on
yeah.
a
And
contract
there's
extension,
a deadline for coming to those agreements.
and we
So
didn't meet the deadline.
yeah,
So we're going to franchise tag you, like
yeah,
Gabe said. We're going to franchise tag you for a year for at $10 million, and we're going to offer Dak Prescott his contract. And then if you earn the money, that big time money during this season, then you don't have to worry about the franchise tag next season.
yeah.
Instead, we're going to offer you that contract extension.
And
Or you
sometimes
don't.
they lose good play. They have to let good players go because they don't have enough
Right.
franchise tags to give out. They want to use the tag on somebody else. So you got
Mhm.
a player that you'll hear fans saying, "Damn, they should have tagged him," but the team was like, "No,
We
we
got
got
to
to
use
use
our
him on you."
franchise, our
Yeah,
2 franchise tags on other players to try
yeah,
and keep that outperform this player. So Tony Pollard could possibly get franchise tagged again
yeah.
because he didn't have the best season running the ball.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. I think if speaking of that, if he does not have a good playoffs, I think we let him walk.
I think we let him walk
I
too.
think we let him walk and we go and draft us somebody, or we keep Dowdle there and sign somebody, a veteran like Derrick Henry, to come in for a year,
Yep.
or Delvin Cook. So there's the possibilities, but
You think Dalvin's gonna leave
well,
Baltimore?
he's only in Baltimore through the remainder of the season. So
That's what
he's
I
basically,
know
yeah.
that, but you think
Yeah,
he
I think they will. Well, no,
think he
because
could take
you
a
still
franchise
got
tag?
Keaton Mitchell coming back healthy next year. You got Dobbins coming back healthy. So I think well, I mean, maybe Dobbins won't be the guy after this many injuries, but I still think they feel that they saw enough out of Keaton Mitchell that they're like, okay, this dude's
To
gonna be a
start
go
him,
for us.
keep
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah. So
why not have a guy like Dalvin Cook
I think Dalvin Cook was just brought in there, bro, just to
for
fill
the remainder of
that spot for the playoffs because
the
they
playoffs?
needed
Yeah.
a veteran, somebody that can come in right away, learn the playbook enough to get them to the playoffs with a run game. Because we all know Gus Edwards is that goal line guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
And
not going to
Mitchell's
give you
out.
he's not a 3 down back that's going to come out of the backfield and do all that stuff. So hopefully that
Exactly.
explained it
And
for you,
Mitchell's
B.
out, so it's gonna.
Yeah.
I see why they bring in Dalvin,
Yeah.
because with Mitchell being out, you losing J.K. Dobbins for the season. You just lost Mitchell for the rest of the season. They don't have no running back
Yeah, exactly.
aside from Gus Edwards, and
Yeah.
you can't put that haul on Gus Edwards
Yeah,
and
now
expect
Gus
him,
Edwards is that short
you know,
down back that you want in the red zone. So, but she says,
exactly.
okay, I understand. All right. All right, man. That's all we got this week, y'all. Damn. We're already going over 2 hours now. Thank you guys for hanging with us tonight, man. Really
Sure.
appreciate it. And I wanted to get into the whole MVP conversation, but we just got talking about other stuff. Maybe we'll talk about it next week, depending if, the guy I want to argue for is still in the playoffs, which I think he will be. But we'll get to that bridge when we get there. So, hey, all y'all, if be sure to look us up on all the social medias. You guys already know, man. You already know what it is. Gridiron Nation Podcast at gmail.com. Send me your questions. Look me up on Facebook at Gridiron Nation 1, Twitter X at 1 Gridiron Nation. I'm also on YouTube. If you're not watching me on there, it's Gridiron Nation Vodcast with a V as in victory. Please subscribe to the page. All right. Share it with your friends. All right. Please don't be selfish. Do not be selfish. I'm also on Instagram at GGarcia_Gridiron, TikTok at Gridiron Nation Podcast. All right. So y'all be sure to look me up, man. And I've got Jerzey. You've got your information on here, but yours are all links, though. So they can find you under Royalty Gamers on Twitter X. That's Jerzey's page. On Facebook, also Jerzey the King. You got also a Royalty Gamers one on there. We got the Gridiron, THA. Don't get it twisted. The Gridiron page, y'all. Follow. All right, everywhere. We're everywhere, baby. We're trying to
Also
be
on
on live.
X, we have the Gridiron, Royalty Gamers _P, and the Fan Gang Nation show. Don't let them Vipers down. Keep rooting for those Vegas Vipers to come back to the UFL. Go sign that petition to keep the USFL, or excuse me, the UFL as the spring league for the Vegas Vipers franchise. Let's get our voices heard so that they have no choice but to bring the Vegas Vipers franchise back, or the Vegas Gamblers, or the Las Vegas Outlaws, however they want to do it. Just keep a spring league franchise in Vegas. It'll be worth it, because now with the NFL backing promotion wise, and then you got Fox and ESPN, Al Davis will be more likely to allow a franchise, a spring league football franchise, to play at his stadium at a reasonable price now, when you got somebody like the NFL backing you. Yeah. So go out there and share that petition, sign it. Even if you're not a Vegas Vipers fan, I understand. Just go and sign it. And please make sure you share it so that we can get that out there and we can make the noise like the Houston Roughnecks fan base did, and got that brand to stick around. So
that's right. That's right. Straight up, man. There's power in voices, y'all. They listen. So before we get out of here, y'all already know what it is, man. I like to close every show with a positive message. I apologize again for coming a day late. Next week, guys, I will not be doing a live stream. Just so busy. I will be working next week, so I will be pre-recording it. Unfortunately, I'll give y'all my take on all the games, however they go down. If my Cowboys lose, you're gonna hear me freaking complain about whatever the hell we did wrong. All right, but so y'all be sure to check it out, and be sure to jump on with Jerzey for the live stream this Saturday, y'all, on the Gridiron. You can find it on his Facebook. I'm going to share it to mine. It'll probably be a little bit later that I shared it. Depends on what time I'm able to get on break. But y'all be sure to check it out, man. Gridiron, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, y'all. All right, so y'all be ready to go on there, because Jerzey's going to talk a lot more about what we got going on. And I saw you put out a question there today for the week. Real quick.
Topic of the week.
Real quick, what was the topic?
Is the Michigan National Championship tainted this year?
There you go. Y'all heard us talking about it a little bit earlier.
Asking, do they need to have it stripped? Because some people are saying, some people are referring to it as saying, should their championship?
You're asking what should happen? Yeah.
Is it tainted? Did they deserve this national championship even though they won? is it a deserving national championship? Basically, is what this topic of the week is for the Gridiron. So make sure you guys go and check my Facebook. Leave your comments. Let me know. I won't be replying back on the actual post. I'll be replying back on the show. So make sure you guys go and leave me your comments and what you guys think. And Gabe, I got an awesome question for you next week about college football that I want you to definitely talk about on the show.
Okay. I will be there next week. I will be there next week, man. So, but before we head out, y'all, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of moment of zen, a little bit of life experience talking here like we always do to close the show. And kind of about what message I want to give y'all this week. And it was something that I read and it got me to a lot of thinking this week about how damn true it was. And it basically said, and it was referring to work, okay? But it could be in anything. But basically it was saying, remember, think about there's only certain people that are going to remember the late nights you put up for work, the times you stayed late, the times that you didn't show up. And that's going to be your family or those your loved ones closest to you. Your job ain't going to remember 20 years from now that you spent weeks and weeks not with your family or your loved one or your woman or your man or whatnot because you would rather been at work. You know what I mean? Or you would have rather been out or doing something else. They ain't going to remember that in 20 years. But you know who's going to remember? It's going to be your family. It's going to be your kids. It's going to be your wife. It's going to be your husband. It's going to be your loved one. It's going to be the people that didn't get the time, that didn't get your time. That time you can't get back. Quality time, y'all, is like, to me, so damn important. It is so important because quality time creates memories, even if it's just a memory of Jerzey, you and your girl just spending certain nights doing the same thing, watching the show. But it's quality time because y'all going to look back on it. Hey, remember we will be watching this show. Remember that? Yeah. And so, whatever it is, y'all, whether it's just maybe you're just not spending the time that you need to, or maybe you're spending too much time at work. Don't let none of it take over what matters the most, guys. All right. Because it says here, remember who will remember the days you worked late or the days that you weren't there. They're the ones who are going to remember in 20 years, man. And they're either going to appreciate you for making the time to be there, or they're just going to remember that you weren't there when you needed to be. All right. We are out of here, familia. So, before we get out of here, just like in everything in life, man, every single day, y'all, life's going to throw its left hooks at you. It's going to throw its uppercuts. It's going to be life ain't easy, guys. Right, Jerzey? Life, let's be honest. Let's be honest. For most of us, life ain't easy. It ain't. But guess what? You can still get back up because sometimes it may be by our doing. Sometimes we have control over what's going on. Sometimes we don't. The key here, guys, is just keep getting up. That's all I can tell you. Never stay down.
Moving forward.
Never stay down. No matter what. All right? Because no matter what life keeps throwing at you guys, as long as you keep getting up, you're going to keep remembering, you're going to keep learning, you're going to start adapting, and you're going to evolve. You'll start to flow all around that BS. You know why? Because in the words of the great Bruce Lee, all y'all got to do is be water, my friends. We are out of here, familia. We will catch you guys next week. Jerzey will catch you guys this week on Saturday on the Gridiron. Don't forget, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And I will be dropping a new episode next week. So y'all be on the lookout. Follow the social medias, all right? And we're going to be up out of here, man. This is Gridiron Nation, familia. I am Gabriel Garcia, a.k.a. The Wicked One, OG Double G. He is Jerzey the King.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for jumping on with us tonight.
Have a great one, everybody.
Familia. It's all one love. Peace.
Peace out.
I'll be blowing up and booming like the 4th of July. The #1 draft pick. Them has been till they past tense. Everybody wanna feel this glory I bask in. Getting antsy when they see my silhouette in the smog. Then you struggle with your breathing as I creep through the fog. Let's get it on. Gonna meet me up in the end zone. Before they know it, when they looking up and I've been gone. We hype tonight. I show up under the